So there was this man, and he was sick and tired of going to work every day while his wife stayed home. He wanted her to see what he went through, so he prayed. Dear Lord, he said, I go to work every day and put in 8 hours while my wife merely stays at home. I want her to know what I go through, so please allow her body to switch with mine for a day. God, in his infinite wisdom, granted the man's wish. The next morning, sure enough, the man awoke as a woman. He arose, cooked breakfast for his mate, awakened the kids, set out their clothes, fed them breakfast, drove them to school, came home and picked up the dry cleaning, stopped at the bank to make a deposit, went grocery shopping, and then drove home to put away all the groceries, paid the bills, and he balanced the checkbook. He cleaned the cat's litter box and bathed the dog. Then it was around 1 p.m., and he hurried to make the beds, to do the laundry, to vacuum, to dust, to sweep, mop. Then he ran to school to pick up the kids. At 4:30, he began peeling potatoes and washing vegetables for salad, breaded the pork chops, snapped the fresh beans for supper, cooked everything he needed to cook, made sure everybody was fed, and he made sure everyone got to bed, all the children. Right after that, he went to bed where he was expected to make love while he managed to get through without complaint. The next morning he awoke and immediately knelt by the bed and said, Lord, I don't know what I was thinking. I was so wrong to envy my wife's being able to stay home all day. Please, oh please, let us trade back. The Lord, in his infinite wisdom, replied, My son, I feel you've learned your lesson, and I'll be happy to change things back to the way they were. But you'll have to wait about 9 months because last night you got pregnant. Welcome to the show, guys. I'm KJ. I'm KJ. This is the scariest movie ever. Still on YouTube. Still on YouTube. Minor miracle, but still on YouTube, which is wonderful because this is where you really reach the masses. We're all being divided off into our own little camps now online. So it's hard to find a mainstream source where you can still reach the masses, those who are really lost, perfectly programmed. So as long as I can stick around, that's a good thing. And if not, someday it goes away. I'll rise up in other areas. I've already got my work in other places as well. If you didn't know that, check the links below. Want to say hi to you, though, and welcome you to the show. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I love seeing the check-ins every now and then. It's cool to see all the different states that are here and all the different countries that are here. Always like to shout out our friends in other countries because some of them stay up really late to watch the show live and be a part of the chat. So thank you for being here. Hope it doesn't mess with your life, being up too late, mess with your job, your relationships, whatever it is. But just I appreciate you, man. I do. Tamara, I saw you in here. Thank you. Moderators as well, always. I'm not sure who else is here, but usually some will show up. But Tamara is always the go-to. So Tamara, thanks for being such a trooper, such a warrior, and being a friend all this time and helping out. I really appreciate you. We got a lot to get into, man. It's quite a bit to get into. So without further ado, I also got a shout out. As always, huge shout out. Patreon and PayPal supporters, guys. Thank you so much. This YouTube channel was demonetized several months back. And basically the only kind of way I get through is usually through Patreon and PayPal. So those of you who've been real troopers and hung in there with me all this time and help out, I just appreciate you so much. Thank you so very, very much. All right, let's go ahead and get into it because like I said, we got a lot to look into. All right, so here's the first one. Gotta love this. Gotta love this. I'm not a black person, but I would find this highly offensive if I were. Just like when Bo Jiden said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. You might remember that one. Your new president, it seems. Certainly seeming more and more like that, isn't it? We'll see. Chaos will erupt either way. It's already happening. I always think that whichever decision will bring the most chaos is probably the one they're going to go with. But what do I know? I do keep thinking that Trump may come out at the very end and pull this out. Who knows? That would definitely create lots of chaos and division. But even if he doesn't, I'll show you some stories tonight where that chaos and division is already starting. It's already being created. So let's check out everyone's favorite doctor, Dr. Fartsy.
My African-American brothers and sisters is that the vaccine that you're going to be taking and was developed by an African-American woman. And that is just a fact. I mean, that is a fact. And I think that's some of the things that people don't fully appreciate. My African-American brothers and sisters.
My African-American brothers and sisters. I mean, these serpents. I can't stand these people. Anyway, how many in my audience of the black people in my audience, male, female, how many of you now are going to rush out and get that vaccine because Dr. Fartsy told you to? These serpents, they're disgusting. Speaking of disgusting, this is a new Ben & Jerry's ice cream. Guess who they're supporting? You know who. But it's all, I mean, America's being stripped down. You know that. It's got to be. It's the last holdout against the one world system. So we're seeing it being hit from every angle possible. I've even theorized in the past America was built to be destroyed. We know it was built by the Masons. It's on your money. They're Luciferians. They know what they're doing. Anyway, check this out.
Ben and Jerry's and Colin Kaepernick are teaming up in the struggle against police violence,
systemic racism,
and white supremacy. It's time to dismantle systems of oppression
and create alternatives rooted in community, accountability, and well-being.
This is what resistance looks like. And it's rooted in joy, love, and justice. All of Colin's proceeds from our new certified vegan non-dairy flavor go to Know Your Rights Camp,
an organization he launched in 2016 to advance the liberation of Black and brown people.
I mean, what's really jacked up, I've talked about this before, there are obvious issues in America and really all over the world with racism. There are true issues there, absolutely, sure. But this is the extreme answer to that. We know that. We know what this system is. We've seen all the symbols surrounding all this as well. The BL+M, the symbols that go all the way back to Africa. It's the same form of enslavement. It's the same Antichrist spirit. There you go. Go get your Colin Kaepernick ice cream, guys. Australia scraps $1 billion crown virus vaccine after participants test HIV positive. I shouldn't laugh at that. It's not funny, but it just goes to show you, honk honker, clown world, it is. The Australian government scrapped $1 billion crown virus vaccine agreement with Australian biotech company CSL, limited to supply of 51 million doses of the you-know-what vaccine being developed by the University of Queensland. Oh, let me throw this out there too real quick. It's kind of jumping off. I get comments sometimes on these shows. People bitch at me because I don't read the entire story all the time. Guys, sometimes I've got almost 100 bookmarks up there, so I've got a lot of stuff to get through. Even if I just have 50, that's a lot. So to sit here and read every single story, man, that would take forever. That's why I do it this way. If you really got an issue with it, all you got to do is while you're watching, pause the screen, look at what's written up here. You can even see the website, and then just go watch it. Go read the article for yourself, share it with people. There you go. You know that. The majority of you already understand this. I'm talking to the children in the audience. So speaking of which, there you go. There's the headline. Okay, this right here, this guy's going to totally copyright this and put ads in this video, but every KJ is what happened gets a copyright just because I'm showing you stuff all the time. And that's fine, except not even monetized. Don't care. YouTube passed a policy. I may have talked about it. It was a few weeks ago where they said now even channels that aren't monetized are going to have ads on them, and YouTube's going to get the revenue, and they're not going to give you anything. So they're admitting it, at least. They're coming out with it. But this is from DJ Vlad. I've been subbed to this feller for a very long time. So I like some of the interviews he does. He gets different characters on there. A lot of hip-hop rap type people, but that's okay. Some of those people are interesting, but not always. Different types. This is Gianni Russo, and he was apparently a mafia hitman. Apparently he's well known by a lot of people, but check out this story he drops. This is just within the first couple of minutes of this interview, and decide for yourself what you think about this.
When he's district attorney.
Yeah. He's got it.
That's it. Then he goes into the hitman stuff. So We shall see. Where we watched a video on my last cage. Oh, by the way, I didn't have a Friday show. I'm shooting for Tuesdays and Fridays, but I can't always guarantee that. I'm very obsessive, if you didn't know that, when it comes to my videos. And if I'm deep into working on something, I can't break out of it. I just kind of get into my headspace. I was like that on Friday. I was working on my newest video that I just dropped this morning. So if you haven't seen my new video yet, please go check it out. I think it's a good one. And it's information people need to see, especially now with everything that's happening in relation to space aliens. Ooh, whatever. Here's this stupid stuff. Person of the year is Bo Jiden and the camel. It's almost like when I first saw this. When I first saw that, I just thought puppet and puppeteer. Not that the camel has any power, but you know, she's definitely more able, I would say, considering Biden. Have you seen any of this Biden stuff lately? He just did a speech. I can't watch him very long. Any of these people, they really make me sick. They genuinely make me sick to my stomach because it's all just lies, deception. I don't even think some of these people are completely human at this point. So it's hard for me to watch them. But I watched some of it, and the guy couldn't even speak. It's the president-elect. This is after the electoral colleges put in all their votes. He came out and he tried to give some speech to the people, and it's just absolutely pathetic and so obvious. It's so obvious this guy is just the train wreck. Can't barely talk, can't keep his hands off of people. New York lawmakers considering higher taxes on wealthy to address pandemic budget deficits. So this little piece of trash, Cuomo, can't stand him either, has obviously wrecked New York City. We've seen week to week on my show here some of the maniacal things this guy's getting away with out there in New York City. But that's all a part of it. Now they're going to start coming after your money. What's interesting is last week we saw that clip out of Canada. I can't. She was a minister of finance, something. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember exactly her title. But she was in the government in Canada and talking about people's savings. So all these people now in Canada have got all this savings because everything's shut down. So we need to figure out a way to get into those savings to kind of help us out. That's what she said, using different words, but that's what she said. And it's because the criminals are becoming emboldened. We're in that time in the world, I believe, that everything's being revealed. And some of these people are so wicked they can't help themselves. This right here is just, I guess, a bit of an early doom break. Well, doom breaks come when they come, I guess. Here's one. I thought it was pretty funny and goofy. Weatherman melts down live on TV. Check this out.
Ryan Marshall, who's out monitoring the snowfall. Ryan, what's it look like out there?
Yeah, it looks like snow, just like I predicted in my forecast from the studio. I'm not sure why I'm out here literally looking around. It looks like snow. You could just take a video of it snowing and show that. Why do I have to be here to describe snowfall? It's pretty self-explanatory.
Seems like the cold has gotten you in an icy mood yourself, Ryan.
Okay, you know what, Shannon? I am in an icy mood, okay? Nice pun, by the way. All right, I was just standing out here for 20 minutes waiting for you guys to throw to me, and I was just, doing some thinking. I spent $120,000 on a degree and 4 years in college to come out here and look around and describe what I see. I literally learned that in kindergarten. I Spy. It makes zero sense. Also, you know what else I was thinking while we're at it? When it's like a nice day or sunny, you never send me out to the lake or to the pool for a live shot. But when there's a hurricane or snowing or a blizzard or a flood, send me out there. I'll cover it. Perfect.
I guess you have a point there, Ryan. We're looking at these reports, and the forecast doesn't look good. People are worried. Have you spoken to any locals?
Look around. Does there look like there's any locals out here? Everything is closed. Everyone is inside. The only reason I'm outside is to tell people not to come outside. What am I doing with my life?
Well, you sure are brave, Ryan. Any word on what we can expect overnight?
Yeah, more of this. Actually, 12 to 18 inches more of this. But don't worry, guys. I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I got this sleeveless vest that you guys make me wear. My literal fingers are about to freeze off. I got frostbite. But, oh, it's fine because we got the logo in the shot. Great.
All right. That was obviously a skit from a guy, John B. Christ. John B. Christ. Weatherman melts down live on TV. Good and John. Never heard of the guy before, but I thought that was a funny video. I guess I have to pause the ad block on this one. All right. Here we go. Speaking of your favorite compromised website, YouTube. Oh, no. Are you going to do this? You really going to make me do this? I guess I could just turn something on. I don't know what that is. YouTube employs Chinese Communist State Secrecy Bureau software engineers. Host of software engineers for the platform have formerly worked for Chinese Communist Party-run institutions, raising the question as to why a revolving door exists between YouTube and the China-based universities. I wonder. A software engineer for the video platform since May of 2019, Pai Xingjiang, previously worked as I probably pronounced it wrong, previously worked as a project manager for Guangzhou Xi'an Technology. Xingjiang detailed his work for the China-based firm as playing a major role in successful PLA certification of a Xi'an terminal by Ministry of Public Security Ministry, right? State Secrecy Bureau. Did you hear they actually have a State Secrecy Bureau and IT Evaluation Center? In other words, he led software efforts on behalf of the PLA, appearing to reference China's People's Liberation Army and a host of Chinese government-led intelligence bodies. What's more, as he notes, he garnered numerous staff awards for excellent performance. He was a good slave to the CCP. Now he's working for YouTube. Cool. Norway expands transgender hate speech law to include private comments in one's own home. This is absolutely bonkers. We have any Norwegians out there? I don't know if we have any out there in the audience tonight or not. Norway's government has now barred its citizens from speaking against trans people, even in their own homes. Reuters reports Norway's parliament voted to expand its current law, first passed in 1981, to include both private and public remarks. This is insanity. Watch what you say, right? Someone's watching. You see something, say something. And public remarks designated as hate speech against trans. Lawbreakers caught saying something in private about trans people will get a fine or a year in jail. This is from Reuters. I mean, in other words, this is not just some rando website no one's ever heard of. I mean, it's out there. Others who say comments in the public arena can net up to 3 years in jail. Okay. Opponents of the expanded law argued that it could criminalize free speech for criticizing LGBT rights. Anine Kierleff, an assistant professor of law at the University of Oslo, told Reuters. Norway has become a key outpost of LGBT activism in Europe. Since 2016, trans people can legally change their gender without a medical diagnosis. Jonathan Turley, a law professor at George Washington University, says the right of free speech in Europe has been rolled back as governments move to criminalize speech and now have become a core value of the Democratic Party in the U.S. Absolutely. It's the left-hand path we're seeing in action. In a recent column, Turley noted that Norway has taken a headlong plunge into controlling free speech. This week, the legislature adopted, without even a note, a new criminal law that punishes people for saying anything deemed hate speech towards trans people in their own home or private conversations. The most chilling fact is that European-style speech controls have become a core value in the Democratic Party. Once a party that fought for free speech has become the party demanding internet censorship and hate speech laws. Bo Biden, your new president, has called for speech controls. Of course he has. And recently, he doesn't even know what he's doing. Bo Biden, your new president, has called for speech controls and recently appointed a transition head for agency media issues that is one of the most pronounced anti-free speech figures in the United States. We joke around about the Bo Biden, we joke around about Trump, we joke around about elections, but a lot of people aren't taking it so lightly. So just remember, and I always say this, that the Lord is in control. And if you feel like you want to do something, but you don't know what to do, pray about it. Say, Lord, guide me, lead me. What can I do to help? What can I do to spread truth? I'm not talking about get Trump elected. I mean, what can I do to fight for you right now in this time? And listen and wait for your orders. And maybe it's nothing. Maybe that's not your place right now, but who knows? I'm rambling again, aren't I? Maybe you've heard about this. This lady, Representative Democrat State Rep Cynthia Johnson, she's done 3 or 4 of these videos now. This is the first. But when I heard this, it's like I talk about the division in humanity, like wheat, tares, sheep, goats. This is her calling to that hive mind. She's calling out to the hive mind to rise up. You'll see what I mean.
Soldiers of Christ. Christ. All you soldiers, soldiers of Christ.
Right.
Soldiers against racism. Soldiers against misogyny. Soldiers against domestic violence and domestic terrorism. Soldiers, rise. It's time for you to rise. Soldiers. Soldiers for Christ. Soldiers against racism. Soldiers against misogyny. Soldiers for Black and brown people who are being mistreated. Rise, soldier.
She's a racist, for real. You really think she's talking to soldiers of Jesus Christ? Or do you think she's talking to the other soldiers?
It's interesting hearing Elon Musk.
This is from a YouTube channel. I like this guy. His name's Anomaly. He goes by Anomaly News and Hip Hop. But I've been subbed to him for a long time. And, again, hey, there's differences. I don't want people to say, I went there and he said this and I can't believe, it's relax. We go to different sources for different things and discern the truth we're searching for and everything on our own. Anyway, I like Anomaly. I think he's a good guy. But let's check this out right here.
Talk about synthetic mRNA.
In fact, he just had a big debate. I didn't even know about this till he put a video up about it, but he did a big debate with High Impact Flicks. They had, I guess, like a big debate recently. I haven't watched it, but I saw him commenting about it. So I don't know if you know who that is. It's another YouTube channel. Anyway, check this out.
It's interesting hearing Elon Musk talk about synthetic mRNA.
I think there's going to be a lot of breakthroughs on the medical front, particularly around the synthetic mRNA. Although you can basically do anything with synthetic RNA, DNA. It's like a computer program. So, I think with enough, with effort that's not too crazy, you could probably stop aging, reverse it if you want. You can basically do it. You can turn someone into a freaking butterfly if you want with the right DNA sequence. So, caterpillars do it.
It's interesting because the transhuman agenda of the future isn't just a conspiracy theory. It's literally what's probably going to happen.
So we won't watch the whole thing, but it's like 8 minutes. But if you want to go check him out, check out Anomaly if you're interested. Fellow follower of Christ. At the same time, that's what he is. He's not religious. He's not like a religious-minded person. He's, probably a libertarian, I guess, if I had to put him in some classification. But anyway, interesting stuff there. You can go watch the whole thing if you're interested. And there you go. Speaking of your favorite social media company, probably not. YouTube announces new anti-harassment policy to fight racial, gender, and all those letters abuse. Of course you did. YouTube's really doing a lot here lately, man. It's just getting crazier and worse. People ask how I'm still here, and I've told them forever. I mean, I literally pray about this. I thank the Lord for the channel that's still here, and I pray for the protection of it. That's it. That's all you can do at this point. I mean, I do, I watch what I say. I watch the words. I do this, I do that. But, trying, to meet God halfway and not just sit on my butt and say, hey, Lord, take care of this for me, would you? And grab me a beer while you're up. For years, YouTube has faced flack from its critics over the video platform's anti-harassment policies. Now, the Google-owned company announced Wednesday it will take a tougher stance on content negatively targeting people based on their race. Like there's a whole lot of that. Come on. Gender expression or sexual orientation. Oh, boy. Videos and comments with a threatening or intimidating message will be removed under the new guidelines, which it's never really that. It's people that just talking about stuff and not being hateful, not being angry, because I don't think there's a whole lot of that out there anyway. There might be some very small pockets, but it's not like a big threat. But this is what they do with their terms of service. They put the stuff out there and then they just go to work. I mean, you've already seen it. And just like, look at all the channels they removed just a couple months ago, because of, the erection that's going on, if you will. Videos and comments with a threatening, sorry, that's kind of gross, I know, but I'm thinking more along the lines of the monoliths when it comes to erections and the obelisks. Osiris's wiener. Hey, this is one of their symbols. They worship this symbol. I'm going to do a little video on the monoliths. There is a company, excuse me, company I found a few days ago. It's a YouTube channel that claims they've put a lot of these out and they're creating them, but they didn't put that out till after that first one was discovered in the middle of nowhere. I'm going to look more into it and all this, but here's my point I want to make in the video. I'm going to show you what I believe the meaning of the monolith is. Well, not even what I believe, what I know it is, and what it could actually be saying, because it could actually still have meaning, and I'll take a look at that later. Like I said, I'll get it more into that in the video. The policy will apply to everyone from private individuals to YouTube creators to public officials. So this is videos and comments with a threatening or intimidating message will be removed under the guidelines. Matt Halpern, a vice president at YouTube, said the changes were made after seeking opinions. We heard this time and again from creators, including those who met with us during the development of this policy update. We also met with a number of experts who shared experts. I wonder who they are. Probably Chinese people. Not that Chinese people are bad inherently, but, CCP Chinese, who shared their perspective and informed our process, from organizations that study online bullying or advocate on, okay, I'm going to read all his garbage. I can't believe what these people say anyway. There you go, guys. Yeah, they're going to keep on policing YouTube and make it nice, clean, and safe for everybody, okay? There you go. Pretty soon, I'll just be putting up videos of me playing with chubs. That'll be the only thing that'll allow here. I would never get to that. Not that I wouldn't ever make a video of me playing with Chubbs. Chubbs is great. He's chilling out tonight, which is good. I learned to give him treats before the show starts. It makes him just crash, which is good, But they're edible marijuana treats. That might be why. Just kidding, folks. Just a joke. Just kidding. I give him some little treats, a couple little things to nibble on, and he goes to bed. Not marijuana laced, I promise. I would never do that to my kitty. Speaking of YouTube, YouTube will ask commenters to rethink posting if their message seems offensive. Guys, the control is insane, and they know that. I've got something else to show you on YouTube after this. They know what they're doing. They know this is madness. No sane person could do any of this stuff. I think they know it's madness. They're doing it on purpose, and they're laughing. They love it. Some people just love being evil. Remember when Google, their slogan used to be, don't be evil. They literally changed that about 3 years ago and made it like a big public thing. Like it was news all over the place. They changed their slogan. Of course they did. YouTube's trying to combat offensive comments that appear under videos by following in the footsteps of other social media companies and asking people before they post something that may be offensive, is this something you really want to share? That is so Orwellian. That's so creepy. Thanks, algorithm, or thanks, AI. Thanks. Yeah, let me rethink that. You're right. I shouldn't do this. AI, you've always been there for me. So gross. The company's launching a new product feature that will warn people when they're going to post. I haven't seen this yet, have you? This is brand new. This is December 3rd, so it's been a couple weeks almost. Companies launching a new product feature that'll warn people when they're going to post a comment that it may be offensive to others in order to give them the option to reflect before posting. This is so wrong. The tool won't actually stop people from posting said the comment or said comment. Prompts won't appear before every comment, but it will for ones that YouTube's system deems offensive. Okay, well then you know what? I mean, in some, again, they take all these things and run with it and abuse it. But I could definitely see where some of that might be good, because take it from a person who's been on YouTube for over 10 years now. There are some really cruel, nasty, vicious people out there, and they'll say some really nasty, gross things. So I get that, but I don't know, man. I mean, I'm a big boy, and I've handled it all this time. I'll continue handling it from here on out. It's where we get to pull up our big boy and big girl pants, you know, and just deal with it. And realize you're not always going to be loved. You're not always going to get a trophy. You're not always going to get awards. There's some people in the world that don't like you, and some people can't stand you. Some people even hate you. But that's part of being a grown-up. You have to just accept it, realize it, and that's the way it is. And then be tough about it and not let all the nasty comments and stuff like that stick with you. You got to get over it. But again, this is that kind of infantilization. Is that even a word? They're making everyone infants. You know, it's that arrested development thing. You know, they want us to just stay dumb, be good consumers, don't question things, follow the rules, stay in line, wear your mask 6 feet apart at all times. Anyway, YouTube. Although, as I said, I'm grateful the channel's still here. It is a pretty gross website. It's continuing to get even grosser, it seems. Principal who said she'd rather vote for a potato than Bo Jiden is fired. This is important, I believe. It's just, again, you compare it, you know, look at all the hate that was okay to put out, of course, against Trump. And this isn't even considering the whole how much of this stuff's played out or whatever, but these are real world situations happening, regardless of how fake anything is that's happening out there. You know, but if the principal said that about, you know, Trump, people would be loving on him. That'd be fine. That'd be great. Be no problem. And she said what? She'd rather vote for a potato? Let's read this. That's it. Elementary school principal has been fired for posting that she'd rather vote for a potato than Bo Jiden. Besides that meme, she also posted several other conservative memes that got her into trouble. The Pennsylvania school principal, Amy Sachs, was posting to her personal social media page, and she's been a teacher for a couple of decades. However, the school removed her from her position in July. And this is really what this is. Again, it's just what the underlying theme is. Stay in line, follow the narrative, don't question things. Be a good slave, and you'll be okay. You can keep your job, and everything will be fine. But if you dare step out of line, start questioning things, or have an opinion that's not popular to these to this hive mind of demons, well, you're going to get in trouble. There she is. Here's the lady. The principal of Evergreen Elementary School is fighting back after being fired as a result of the post. She's now suing the school to get her job back, as well as $500,000 for the emotional turmoil she's experienced as a result of the incident. I've seen some nasty things posted on social media by the left, but I never see stories of them being fired for those posts. Yeah, right. That's a whole other. Okay, there you go. There you have it. I would rather vote for a potato. I would. I think it'd be at least more interesting. Ocean Shores man attacked after confronting men for not wearing masks. Oh boy, here comes your mask madness.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Dave Wagner.
And I'm Monique Minglavan. Now, this is a story you'll see only on Cairo 7 News. And Sydney Kim is at the live desk right now. Sydney, he's really worried police are not properly investigating this case.
Monique, that's right. Daniel Troublefield says he was at the Ocean Shores IGA grocery store Sunday night when he called someone out for not wearing a mask. Inside the store, he says the conversation turned heated, but he thought that was the end of it. And he was not expecting what happened once he walked outside. Daniel Troublefield took these pictures at the hospital right after he says he was attacked.
Well, I curled up in the fetal position, and I was just ready to die.
He shared this surveillance video with me, which he got from the neighboring drugstore. Daniel says that's him in the parking lot, walking out to his white car in the middle of the screen, but he walks past it as he was taunted by the maskless men.
They kept berating me, expletives, calling me a snowflake, and it's not science, it's a hoax.
Looking back, Daniel says he wishes he ignored them.
To my regret, I walked up to the car and asked that I was trying to explain that it is science, and they should be wearing a mask because they're endangering me and everybody.
This guy's been victimized twice, really. He's a victim of the system because he's buying the lie. He's being a good little slave. You can tell by the way he's talking, being a good little slave. And then he goes and gets into it with these guys, and it looks like he got his butt kicked a little bit. They've been victimized twice.
Else in the store by not having a mask on.
That's when things escalated even further.
The gentleman tapped on my chest, and I flipped up his hat. And that's when they both got out of the car.
The video's quality isn't great, but you can see someone is thrown to the ground.
One grabbed me by the neck in a chokehold and got me down to the ground. And before I knew it, I was getting my face pummeled with fists.
The beating lasts about 20 seconds. The guys took off, and now he's worried they're going to get away, and he won't get justice.
I don't feel the police are doing enough. I'm in the dark right now about everything.
Ocean Shores police say they don't know whether it was an assault or self-defense. The disabled Marine veteran says he never threw one punch and even passed out. His nose is now fractured. He's had to get stitches, and he's got bruises on his face. And
all right. There you have it. No thanks. New Swedish children's Bible to have diversity and gender perspectives. What's the last paragraph in the Bible that no man add to or take away the words from this book? Something to that effect. That's happening quite a bit. And this is a third or fourth story I've seen where they're trying to gay it up a little bit, if you will. Let's gay up the Bible. Let's make it more inclusive. The new translation is the first in 25 years and will be undertaken by Church of Sweden Bishop. Sweden, man, once again. I'm very fascinated with Sweden. Some of the craziest stories come out of that place, but then I'll see images and video of it. A beautiful place, beautiful people. Like they're all, they don't look alike. I mean, very similar. Light-skinned, blonde. Very, very pretty people. A beautiful place. And some of the craziest stories, news stories I've ever seen coming out of this area. Do we have any potty? Do we have anybody in the audience tonight from Sweden? Could you raise your hand? Hi there. I'm not hating on you. I think you got a cool country. It's just weird stuff like this. The starting point was to make a children's Bible that has not existed in Sweden before a very long time. Namely, one that has both the stories, the hymns, the most famous prayers, and the Swedish children's book illustration style, which is very unique. While most Swedish children's Bibles in the past have been translated from English, this new children's Bible will be translated from the original Hebrew and Greek. Here's this one. Remember this? Not woke enough. Swedish church removes gay painting. Not pro-trans enough. It's from December. From last year, last December. According to DeLevy, the new translation will also include diversity among the various characters who he claimed were all portrayed as being white in prior children's Bibles, and that there will be a so-called gender perspective in this one. He said that among gender perspectives will be the notion that man did not perhaps come before woman in the story of Genesis. So, see, adding to, taken away. Church of Sweden is known as one of the most progressive liberal Christian churches in Europe and has long supported various causes such as all the letters. Sweden's liberal church set to lose over 1 million members in a decade, next decade. No surprise. There you go. You're showing your fruits. This is finally. Everybody is. All the churches, all the individuals, all the corporations, we're falling into line, one side or the other. It's a sad one. Today I spoke to the family of Spencer Smith. Smith died by suicide on Friday. His family says he left a note writing he felt locked in the house and disconnected from his friends due to the pandemic. Another quick note, people who are new here, why does he mispronounce words? Does he have a concussion? No, a lot of times I have to be careful the words I use because there's literally algorithms on YouTube that are programmed to watch for certain kinds of trigger words. And then you just don't want attention on your channel like that. You know, they can mess with your videos. They can mess with your channel. They can do whatever they want. Now, here's a little video from the young man's father I'll share with you. Very short.
We need to get our kids back. The classes, let them do their activities, their after-school activities, rather if it's sports or band practice or plays. Let them do this stuff. If they want to, it's up to them. Let them make their decisions. We need to get our kids back.
That's all. A short one. Sorry for his loss. But it just made me think of all the other people out there, not just the kids. Because the kids are having it bad too. Elderly people, I got a video I'm going to show you in a little bit. What's happening in an old folks' home. And you pray for them. You got to pray for them. Pray for the world. Pray for the people. Everyone's having a different situation. Some people are doing okay. Some people are doing all right. Some people are prospering. And some people are getting crushed. And just try to remember them in our prayers. 4 volunteers developed facial paralysis after taking Pfizer jab, prompting FDA to recommend surveillance of cases. It's from December 9th, about a week ago, less than a week ago. 4 trial participants who received the Pfizer vaccine experienced facial paralysis, according to the FDA. Potentially concerning cases were revealed after the U.S. drug regulator published an analysis of the Pfizer vaccine ahead of a meeting to consider emergency use authorization for the jab in the U.S. According to the documents, Bell's palsy, a form of temporary facial paralysis, was reported by 4 participants during phase 3 trials. The individuals have been administered the jab, and no members of the placebo group experienced similar adverse effects. Okay. Cool. It's time for some UFOs. It's a good one. Check this out. The video I just did about UFOs or fallen aliens, I was at first, like last Friday, I started working on a compilation of certain types of sightings, and I've mentioned them in the past. You've seen them here on the shows, where the lights are really putting on a show up in the sky just above the clouds. I mean, moving in, synchronized movements and patterns, and it's happening all over the world. So it's not just like, oh, it's happening in Vegas, where it's probably just something for the street. No, I mean, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. My problem is I don't label everything when I put things to the side like I should. But that's another story altogether. All right, let's go ahead. And so point is I couldn't find all the ones I wanted, but I know there's tons of them out there. Usually on compilations I'll show or whatever. But anyway, I'm rambling again. Check this out.
Are you kidding me? What the fuck is going on in the sky right there? Guys, what is that? Come on. That's not lightning. It's purple. And it's... Do you guys see this? Oh my god, I have to pull over. I'm about to throw up.
So they're doing stuff like that.
Sky. I just missed my exit. Okay, yeah, I gotta pull over.
So again, some of you who've been watching the show here for a while, I've been doing it a few years, especially over this last year or even over the last, say, 4 or 5 months. I know you've seen a lot of this footage that I put out here. Because, I mean, I recognize this type, but this is the newest. And again, we've seen this type before, once again, all over the world. So I wonder, will that be the sign of their arrival? Maybe one of them. Will it be a fleet of orbs? I'm not sure, but let's take a look at this one more time.
Are you kidding me? What the fuck is going on in the sky right there? Guys, what is that? Come on. That's not lightning. It's purple. And it's... Do you guys see this? Oh my god, I have to pull over. I'm about to throw up. Something is happening in the sky. I just missed my exit. Okay, yeah, I gotta pull over.
Interesting, though, huh? If there's any more down here. Excuse me. Guess not. Okay. I know I've got more UFO videos, though. Always. Oh, here's another one. Now, this is kind of similar to what we just saw. This is in Nashville.
And then it's gone.
It didn't put on a show, but it just took off. There you go. There you have it. All right. Another one. This is from Brooklyn Chronicles. UFO sighting 2020. It's over Dallas, Texas. It's a good one, too. Check this out. Oh, wait. I don't know. This isn't the one I was thinking of. They're all good, but this isn't the one I was thinking of. It's a really good one. Come up in a little bit.
I don't know what these are.
Almost always in threes, usually forming a pyramid at some point. The unholy trinity. There you go. That's all over the world too. People seeing these orbs, but y'all see that on this show. UFO over California yesterday. Car 2004 YouTube channel, 1 subscriber. I used to just subscribe to these guys just to say thanks, but then they start uploading a bunch of goofy stuff because most of these channels, a lot of these folks like this capture, they're not UFO channels. You know, they're just putting up goofy stuff, right? Just anything they want. But then they suddenly see a UFO, they grab the phone, they capture it, they put it up, and then that's where I find them. You know, a lot of the time, the individuals put these clips up. Oh yeah, I think this is the one I was talking about. This is pretty wild.
Bro, what the fuck is that?
Wild, huh? Here's another good one. This is a UFO in Rio, Brazil from Rubens Espindola. Short one. That looks almost like a flying humanoid. At first it did. Now it looks like it's breaking up, but it looked like a figure, didn't it? Like a big white figure or something. I do have a flying humanoid video tonight, by the way. Okay, this is from Mavi777. I like him. I like Hidden Underbelly, and I like Disclosed Screen, Grim Reefar for UFOs and weird clips, paranormal stuff, and all that. Anyway, I'm not going to watch all of this one, but there's a couple I wanted to share with you that Mavi put up here. This is pretty weird. All right, check this out. There's a couple of them on here I'll share with you. Again, I don't know. Maybe that's tethered or something. You know, maybe it's some kind of a, I don't know. See, I'm not sure. See, the other thing, quickly pointing out, new people that are here. Yeah, I don't verify everything I show y'all. This is all stuff, scattered stuff I find throughout the week as I'm working on videos. I find headlines I like or footage seems interesting. That's where you guys come in. So I always check the comments later in the comment section. You guys find stories that were a hoax, or you find something, you know, you find another part of a story or whatever it is. And that's where we all get to investigate together. So please be a part of that. It's great. Okay. Don't be mad at me. I can't believe you shared this when you know, don't be mad at me. Don't get aggro. Just be a part of the community, man. Be a part of the investigation. So I'm not trying to trick you here, okay? Just showing you things I think are interesting. Okay. In comes the creepy music. It's all right. I want to move past that one, and I think... Where is it? There's a flying humanoid thing in here somewhere. I think that's it. Yeah, that might be it right there. Maybe not this one. Let's see. Weird. Whatever it is, it's making some big moves, isn't it? I don't think this is the flying humanoid one, but, you know. Some may say that classifies. Throw that in there with the flying humanoids. Here we go. I think this is it. So it's got a white aura around it. That's weird, huh? Flying humanoid, man. It's wild. Could just be one of the shapes these orbs create as well. They are shapeshifters. Maybe it's some kind of witchcraft we're seeing. I think you get some closer shots here. I've theorized in the past, what if it's a astral projection? I don't know if it really works that way or not, but what if you can actually see it? Who knows? And what are your theories? What do you think these things could be? Aside from balloons or swamp gas. All right, that was that. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to show you on there, but you can check Mavi's channel out if you're interested. Does a lot of big UFO compilation type videos. Put your effing mask on. Irate man stalks woman in department store. I think there's a video. Oh, we already watched this one. We saw this last week. We can watch it again, though. Sorry.
Put your fucking mask on.
I'm sorry. You can walk away from me right now, sir.
Put your mask on.
Get away from me,
Put it
please.
on. Does it bother anybody else that she doesn't have to wear a mask that we all do?
Just go away. Stay 6 feet away from me.
The tattletale, man. Gosh. I always picture globalist Luciferians, the demons that are putting this stuff out there on us. They have created this event. Just loving this stuff. You know, laughing. Just laughing. Like gnawing on an arm, you know, from somebody they butchered. Just looking at this, just laughing, man. Blood all over the face.
Get away
Put
from
your
me.
fucking mask on.
I'm sorry. You can walk away from me right now, sir.
Put your mask on.
Get away from me,
Put it
please.
on. Does it bother anybody else that she doesn't have to wear a mask that we all do?
Just go away. Stay 6 feet away from me then.
No.
Get away from me.
No. Yeah.
Please get away from me right now.
No.
You don't need to come near me.
She has it on her damn hand.
Get away from me.
Walk away from me, sir. Please get away from me.
You don't care?
Leave me alone.
She
Stay 6 feet away from me then.
Get out of here. I know who you voted for.
Oh, the tattletales. Tattletale culture. Teacher, she's not wearing a mask. Oh, that's so gross. This is the only news I found on this, so y'all might want to look this up. I'm not sure. It's from moonbattery.com. Judge orders half of Orange County jail let loose, given the excessive power held by ideologically deranged judges. So this is definitely opinion piece stuff here. Given the excessive power held by ideologically deranged judges in California, almost any extreme of malevolent lunacy can be inflicted on the public in the name of C-19, even letting half the criminals out of jail. And I say it's an opinion piece, not in a negative way, just letting you know. This isn't just like a report. This is somebody's feelings about this. Not that I disagree with them. The Superior Court judge has ordered that the Orange County jail population be cut in half, ruling that the sheriff had failed to reduce the number of inmates to ensure adequate social distancing. The ACLU says the move came in response to a lawsuit filed in April by the ACLU against Orange County Sheriff Don Barnes, seeking the release of medically vulnerable and disabled inmates, as well as necessary measures to protect those remaining in the jails from the crown virus. I'm not going to read more. When they see these things, we've seen some of these stories before, so I know it has happened. But look what they've done. You know, they're crippling elements of the economy. Service industry people, many of them are losing their jobs, are not making enough money. A lot of people can't pay the rent, and that's about to run out here soon. The protections from the CARES Act. So yeah, the potion's perfect for something like this, isn't it? Now let's just continually create more chaos. How can we do that? Let's open up the jails, start letting more people out in the streets that are going to be suffering as well. Having a hard time finding work, everything else. I mean, if they're coming out of jail, especially if you got a record, that can affect you. So there you go. More chaos. How can we create more chaos? UK vaccine minister U-turn, absolutely no plans for COVID passports. So that's good. This is some good news. I think mandating vaccinations is discriminatory and completely wrong. Nadim Zahawi made the announcement after a petition with more than 324,000 signatures against the so-called COVID passports was debated in Parliament. I love it. Look at that. This is when people fight back and can do something. It's always been the problem with, in America, they say the people on the right, you know, the conservatives and Republicans, they are weak a lot of the time. They're weak-willed. I think it's because a lot of them are compromised from being Masons, but that's me. But then a lot of them are, I think, religious-minded people as well, and just maybe do the thing, well, let's just pray about it and don't really put anything into action. I mean, I don't know what it is, but they're weak and they get rolled over a lot of the time because the so-called left in America is completely demonic. They don't have a rule book. Their rule book is Rules for Radicals by Saul Alinsky, if you've ever heard of him before. Originally, he actually thanked Lucifer in the book. I don't know if that's still in there now, but you can look that up. Teaching people how to do the kind of things that the left in America does and has been doing for decades. How they steal everything. Steal their elections. People always like, I mean, how can that person be in office so many years? Well, you're starting to see evidence of that now. Like the real evidence, even though the mainstream media won't touch it. But if you look around a little bit online, you can find plenty of evidence of election fraud from this past election. Right? Most of you know that. Anyway. Oh boy. Okay, I got to disable my ad blocker again. This better be worth it. It is. This is, I guess, a bit of a doom break. 3 comforting ways Jesus is our light that shines in the darkness. Jesus is our light that shines in the darkness. Did you notice the major difference in the 2 versions of John 1:5? Darkness not comprehending the light versus darkness not overcoming it. Seems a little off. Why would the same verse use such very different words in the English translations? In our modern instance, comprehending and overcoming are not exactly synonymous. One implies a passive, even sedentary appraisal, and the other a fierce struggle for victory. But Crosswalk author Rick Rayner explained the intent of the original Greek word in his article. This isn't what I thought it would be. I wish he would just kind of give us the scriptures. Sorry, guys. I saw the headline. I thought it might be good. This is just like another opinion piece, it seems. But if you didn't know, Jesus really is the key. He's the way out of all this. He's the reason. Not the reason. I wasn't thinking. I was about to say he's the reason for the season. I had to stop myself. Like, no, he's not. That's completely pagan. That's another story altogether. With all joking aside, man, that's really what it's all about. That's the reason I do what I do. It's what I hope my work has been doing for years. It's why I continually do the types of videos and the work I do. Even with that, I have people complain, calling me a fearmonger. Oh, come here, listen to this guy on his channel. He'll just preach to you from the Bible. Okay, cool. I mean, there's a place for that, and I do that in my own time sometimes, go to some of those channels. But don't ever try to force me to be that, because I'm really reaching people in the world, and these are the people that I have to try to reach. For the people who already have Christ, like most of you guys, or a lot of you guys, this is more encouragement, I think, or just more proof of the times we're in for you. But there's still people out there that are completely lost, and think that we're all a bunch of dum-dums or conspiracy theorists or whatever, and this is the audience. And that's why it's important to be in some of the bigger social media like a YouTube right now, because you still have some access to the people that need to hear this kind of thing the most. I'm not a religious man. I don't go to church. But I love God. I love Jesus. I know what his sacrifice means. I accepted him long ago as my savior. And best decision I ever made in my life. All right, moving on. Marvel Comics. Star-Lord is a polyamorous bisexual. According to Marvel Comics, the beloved Guardians of the Galaxy character Peter Quill, Star-Lord, which I did a video on this, it was all about the Antichrist, the Star-Lord, especially part 2. That's a video I never put on YouTube. It's on my website. I can't remember why I didn't. I think that was back when they were being really bad. There's seasons you go through on YouTube where you can tell they're really watching closely, or they censor things real hardcore. And anyway, but it's out there somewhere. It's my Guardians of the Galaxy video, but I did one on the second movie. And yeah, God was the bad guy in that. God was literally the bad guy in that movie. And he drove around space in an all-seeing eye spaceship, just to begin with. I mean, showed how he seeded the earth, all this other stuff, man. It's crazy. Space adventurer Peter Quill is shown in a polyamorous bisexual relationship in the latest issue of the Guardians of the Galaxy comic, reports Entertainment Weekly. In an adventure titled I Shall Make You a Star-Lord, Guardians of the Galaxy 9 finds Quill spending almost 150 years in a strange land named Morinus, where he befriends a pair of humanoids, the female Aradia and the male Morse, eventually entering into a relationship with both around the 12-year mark. Quill makes his love for both characters known when he says, "It's been over a decade, time to accept the truth. Morinus is my home. You're my home." I don't need to read any more of this stuff. We get it. We already know. It's part of the programming. No touchdown for NFL. Ratings plummet. Love it. Good. Networks trying to please advertisers. Well, fine. Let it go away. These guys get paid way too much money. It's spoiled. Aren't they? They're like spoiled children. After electoral college victory, Biden praises honest, free, and fair election. That's why I just can't. I can't with this guy. He just looks like he's a dope. He looks lost right there even. He's a dope. Residents in California protest against YouTube. I don't even know what this protest is about. Well, let's watch this. Let's grab this headline. It's one I didn't actually look at.
The group were holding various signs chanting outside YouTube's headquarters in the Bay Area last Friday. USA! USA! The protesters had one concern in mind: censorship.
If it's liberal, you can say anything you want. If it's a liberal viewpoint, you can say anything. If it's a conservative viewpoint, you're banned. This is America. This is not China. You know, I grew up in a dictatorship in Taiwan, and I know what propaganda is, and what's happening in this country is shameful.
On December 9th, YouTube released
Amen, sister.
saying the company will remove videos claiming that a presidential candidate, namely Joe Biden, won the 2020 election due to widespread software glitches or counting errors.
YouTube's decision to censor everything election fraud is nothing but communist, Marxist agenda.
And when they say they're going to take down election fraud, my God, their affidavits signed and evidence, rampant evidence. What election fraud? That's misinformation. This is just propaganda.
With YouTube, I guess, threatening to ban a lot of the coverage about the fraud in the election, it's so clear that there was just major fraud going on. And the American people need to know that. It doesn't matter what side you're on. Every person should want to have a fair election.
In its announcement last week, YouTube says it has terminated over 8,000 channels and thousands of harmful and misleading elections-related videos for violating their existing policies since this December.
LifeSite News is now off of YouTube, you know, because they're conservative. Taylor Marshall is being taken off of YouTube. It's rampant, you know. It's unbelievable.
We're supposed to have a free and fair election. How can we have a free and fair election if big tech is interfering?
YouTube says that it will still allow news coverage and commentary on these election issues to remain on their site if there's sufficient education, documentary, scientific, or artistic context. In the meantime, YouTube's recommendation algorithm favors authoritative news channels over 14 times more than the top 10
no crap
channels on election-related content. The top viewed channels that YouTube recommends are ABC, NBC, and CNN, among others.
Of course.
Reporting by David Zhang, NTD News.
Loved it. Loved it. Yeah, I love it. That's good. Now, you probably didn't see that anywhere but here because this kind of stuff doesn't get coverage. That's December 14th. That's from yesterday. I haven't seen a thing about it anywhere except for this article here. So there we have it. Good for you folks. I'm glad some people are trying to stand up. That'd be a good idea, man. If I still lived out, they're Bay Area. I lived in LA, but if I was in that area, that'd be a good idea, man. With the audience, maybe, with you guys, being able to reach some people. It might be one of those things we could actually go do in public, you know? That'd be worth it, going to YouTube headquarters. Watch live, SOS, SCOTUS, Electoral College betray us. Can we still have the, oh, I didn't mean to have that up there. Something I was just looking at. This is info. Oh, here's what I wanted to show you. Did you see this Black national anthem? It's just more of this division. It's incredibly racist, but they do it, you know, in the guise of being anti-racist. It's in Michigan. The national anthem and then the Black national anthem before the Electoral College proceedings. This is real. This actually happened. This is the America you live in now. It's a damn shame, but how come I can't? I guess I can't make that bigger. All right. I guess we'll just watch it like that.
Remain standing for the national anthem and the Black national anthem by the Turner sisters, Jalea and Jamila Turner.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the glistening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the hope that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the faith that the present has brought us. sing the rock.
No offense, I can't listen to the rest of it. I just ate dinner about an hour and a half ago, but this is real, this is happening, and I think it's a darn shame. It's about as racist as you can get. But that's, mirror world, upside down world, clown world. Children in quarantine not allowed to unwrap their own Christmas presents under COVID-19 rules. This is just, guys, is there a video for this? No, that's the letter. I'll read some. Current law mandates that all travelers arriving from other countries undergo a 14-day hotel quarantine before they are allowed to go to their next destination. It's in Australia. I know I got some Australian listeners. Y'all have commented. I've talked to some of y'all on my live shows. Give us an update if you're listening tonight or later in the comments. Let us know how you're doing out there, because the fella I talked to from Australia on my last show, or maybe the show before that, was saying that it's the area he was in is not that crazy. We know how it's all divided anyway. Same in America. I mean, some of these places here in America, state to state, drastic differences, drastic. But anyway, just throwing that out there for our Aussie friends. Current law mandates that all travelers arriving, I already read that. This has left many forced to spend Christmas in temporary accommodation, but rules on gift giving have made the experience even more burdensome. In a letter by the state's Deputy Chief Health Officer, Robin Lawrence, hotel guests are told that all packages delivered by friends and family will be opened and checked for safety reasons. Ooh, that's, again, look at this. Really? We already see what it is, man. It's just more and more. And I said it a few weeks ago. Eventually, they want to get their hands on us, obviously. They're doing it now. But that's been the goal. And they just keep encroaching, coming into your life, more and more invading, watching, permeating every element of your existence if they can. I'm not going to read the darn letter. It says here, as the hotels are busy, please limit the number of packages and deliveries you receive and ask those dropping them off not to wrap them up, as they will be opened, states the letter. This means that children will have their presents unwrapped by hotel staff or security guards before receiving them. Guests have also been banned from sending gifts from their rooms to friends and family because there is a potential infection control risk. Oh. Oof. There's that. This is from Summit News. This is Paul Joseph Watson's site. I use it because he's good at capturing a lot of these interesting stories, but I just wish he wouldn't use the pyramid symbol. Again, hey, this is just me, just little nitpicking. And also for a while in some of his videos, he was wearing a pentagram baseball hat, a hat with like tons of pentagrams all over it. Not a good look. Now, I don't know if he's trying to be tongue-in-cheek, be funny about things when he does stuff like that, or is he showing himself for what he is? Is he affiliated with all this stuff? But regardless, and I've said this before, I'm not worried so much about the messenger with a lot of this stuff. I'm looking for the news, the information, and that's what matters. So regardless of the sources we use, and I use tons, it's not about the source so much. It's more about the story at hand and using your own common sense, critical thinking, logic, reason, and spiritual discernment to find out what the truth is. Do your own little investigations, you know. Okay, that's my bit on Paul Joseph Watson. Vaccinated Israelis to get green passport, allowing them to attend events, eat at restaurants. The country's health ministry The country's health ministry announced that citizens who take the shot will be rewarded with free movement waivers. Wow, free movement waivers that will allow them to bypass crown virus restrictions. The green passports will be issued after a person receives the second dose. That's right, you ain't just doing one. The second dose of the Pfizer vaccine, which Israel plans to begin rolling out on December 27th, with around 60,000 people given the shot that day. According to reports, holders of the passports will be able to attend public events and eat at restaurants, among other things. How wonderful. They will also not be required to enter mandatory quarantine after contact with a confirmed patient or after returning from a red country abroad. Those traveling will also not be required to take a mandatory C-19 test before leaving the country. The creation of the passport opens up the question of what will happen to those who refuse to take the vaccine and whether they will ever be allowed to live a normal life again. Polls show that 50 to 75% of Israelis have indicated they won't take the vaccine because they feel it has been rushed out. suggesting that threats of removing basic freedoms could be used to convince more people. Military officials also considered whether to make the vax scheme mandatory for IDF soldiers. If approved, the decision will be precedent-setting, since neither flu vaccinations nor blood donations are mandated by any official military command. Okay. NHS commercial terrifies children by showing Santa dying of the crown virus. Let's see if I can watch this. It's already been taken down. Are you kidding me? You're kidding. See, this happens all the time. I told you guys that's happened here live on the show. A couple hours before the show, I'll just go through my bookmarks and all that, start collecting all the stories I've set aside and doing a once over, making sure everything's looking okay. And so many times I'll put up a tweet I'm going to show you, or a video from YouTube on another website or something like that, or sometimes on YouTube. Sometimes it's mirrored places, and it's there. And by the time I get to the show, it's been removed. It's gone. Or the channel now is suddenly gone. I mean, it's just, that's the time we're in. Some of you can see that and appreciate it. Some people don't. And that's okay. But it's madness. It really is crazy. Like, we're in a dystopian science fiction horror film. You know that. I've been showing you that for a long time, but we really are. And once again, another reason to cling to Christ, another reason to work on your relationship with the Creator, because you have one through Christ. And when you do, man, that's my everything. My relationship with the Creator, the Lord God, is my everything. I check in with Him on everything. It doesn't mean I get everything right with my videos and stuff. You know, I'm a human. Sometimes I'll get things wrong, mess something up, miss something, whatever it is, it happens. But I do feel guided by Him into subjects and things like this. And it's a relationship. And if you already don't have that yourself, you can have that too. It's the best decision you'll ever make in your life. And if you don't understand how to do it, you can ask people in chat, ask in the comments. Recognize you're a sinner. Understand what His sacrifice is for, was to cover your sins. Accept Him as your personal Lord and Savior. I suggest reading the Word at least once. I don't read it all the time myself, but in the beginning I've read, throughout the years I've read it, bit by bit, piece by piece. But I suggest looking into it, praying, working on that prayer relationship, working on that real relationship with the Creator. Listen, Creator of everything. We can't even grasp what the Creator is, how the Creator thinks. We get glimpses through the Bible, but it's incredible. But I know He loves us very much, and He wants us back. And you can do that through accepting Christ as your personal Lord and Savior. I feel like a preacher now. I'm sorry. I don't do that often. Sometimes I feel like it needs to be said. All right, let's move on. I wish I could have seen that video, though. Amazon using social distancing technology to warn staffers who get too close. Look at this. Here you go. It's called the Distance Assistant. How cute. This already looks like, some of you may not have seen it. I have a music video I did a little while back called Learning to Love Your Slavery. I did it a few weeks back. I do a bunch of those sometimes off of YouTube. You can find them on BitChute, on my website. The links are below. You can also use the scariestmovieever.tv. I've been uploading there now, and it's great because you can use that at home or at other friends' homes. You go somewhere, if they have a Fire Stick, click on, scariestmovieever.tv. I've got the Scariest Movie Ever, the original on there, and the new one on there. And all my latest uploads are going up there. And I've got like 20 music videos on there I've done. But that particular music video, it showed some technology that's recently been developed or been created, where when you're walking on the floor in these places, you can actually see that ring around you, and there's goldfish in it. And if two of these circles get too close together, it breaks the bowl, and the goldfish fall out and die away. I mean, it's crazy, but it's so childish. But they're doing this, of course, and for us, for adults, for everybody. Look at the pretty goldfish, mommy. Oh, don't get too close. It's just so weird and gross, isn't it? And this is 33 seconds. All right, check this out. So they can monitor you like cattle. So look at this, like they're monitoring people like cattle. Make sure you're staying apart. Yeah, Jim, need to see in the office. Yeah, boss, what's going on? Oh, you've broken the barrier twice today, Jim. We can't have that. It's not safe. You're going to infect somebody. What is this here? China's new civilization code extends its social controls. Let's check this out.
An unreasonable fear in many countries around the world when it comes to contact tracing, which is being used to help control the novel coronavirus. The idea that this could, for example, be used for totalitarian social monitoring, well, this has now become a reality in China. The local government of China's Jiangsu province has launched a new social control system that combines the CCP's health code program with the regime's social credit system to create what they're calling a, quote, civilization code. This new system gives people a civilization score, which ranks them into different levels. And this level is then used by the government to judge who gets priority or who should be subjected to restrictions or punishments. Now, the system appears to function like an expanded version of the existing social credit system. It's being rolled out currently in Suzhou, which is a major city of that province, and will apply to everyone over 18 years old.
Wowzers. All right, there's that. New York lawmaker introduces bill to make vaccination mandatory. They always look like creatures to me, like monsters. Let's see here.
Because that is part of the solution to moving our lives ahead.
And State Assembly member Linda Rosenthal of the Upper West Side has introduced a bill requiring most New Yorkers get a COVID-19 vaccine. She says if at least 70% of the population does not get the vaccine on their own, then it should be mandatory.
Then the State Department of Health would have the ability to say that more people have to get it. And they would set the rules and they would set the structure.
Labor and employment lawyer Helen Rella says your boss could force you to get a COVID-19 vaccine, just like they are currently allowed to do with the flu vaccine.
We anticipate that employers, because they set the terms and conditions of employment, will be permitted to mandate that their employees take the vaccine.
There will, however, be exemptions.
Under either the Americans with Disabilities Act, claiming that they have some medical condition that prevents them from taking the vaccination, or under Title VII, claiming that they have some seriously held religious belief.
She says private schools will be allowed to require the vaccine, and there is also the possibility that public schools might also be able to make it mandatory. Bottom line is, she says it's going to be difficult to function if you don't get the vaccine.
You may not be able to get on an airplane. You might not be able to travel into a foreign country without showing certification of vaccination. So it's going to become part of the normal course.
Linda Schmidt, Fox 5 News.
She's holding back her smile on there, wasn't she? Well, there you have it. And then there's that. They always look like monsters to me. App will implement vaccination status, allow bars, restaurants to identify the unvaccinated. Love it. No, I really don't, but where is it? That's not it. I was hoping there'd be a little video on that. Oh, here's a little video on that. Let's check it out.
I've seen in the papers today for when you've had your vaccine. That's basically a passport, isn't it? That's a vaccine passport.
Well, ultimately, what we're looking to do is get this vaccine rolled out as quickly as possible. The Joint Committee on Vaccination and Immunisation have put forward their advice in terms of the prioritisation of the vaccine to protect the most vulnerable, our key workers, and then at the various age bands, so that we can get this rolled out quickly and start working back towards the lives that we were used to living, and so actually having confidence is important, and that's what the rollout plan is all about.
I have no problem with a vaccine passport, but Michael Gove sat there last week and said we were definitely not having one, and yet we see these cards in the papers today.
Well, as I say, the priority is about making sure the rollout is first to the most vulnerable, also to the people who look after them and our key workers in the medical profession.
What is it if it's not a passport?
Ultimately, it's about making sure that there is a wide rollout and confidence in that rollout.
Totally. See, I just totally dodged that question. Ugh, these politicians. Slimy. Another travel company exec says vaccine passports are coming.
Could someday be just as important as your boarding pass. Many experts are predicting that you will eventually need some kind of a proof that you've either had the COVID vaccine or a recent negative test before you step onto a plane. Today, Fox 4 presented that issue to one of the top doctors at the Mayo Clinic, and we're also hearing from the region's top travel authorities.
Traveler safety to me is top of the line for everybody. And in order to do that, there's going to be some requirements to be able to travel.
As the president of Ascendus Travel, Brent Blake's been working for a while to figure out when his industry will return to normal.
We believe until the government comes out with a standardized process, it's going to be a little bit of a Wild West show.
And that standardized process could be coming sooner than you think. In order to resume air travel, especially international flights, Blake believes airlines, countries, even individual U.S. states will insist on proof that you've either been vaccinated
Okay, wait.
or tested negative for coronavirus.
Wait. Stop. I'm going to back that up a little. If you didn't hear that, it's very important. Even individual states. So it's not just like, no big deal. I never planned on traveling out of America. I'm fine. No, that's the part that really bugs me. I don't like either part of it because I'm a bit of a gypsy. You know, I'd love to be able to travel again, leave America for a while sometime, but we know that's those doors are closing quick. But now listen to the other part, though. It's the individual states issue. The last few years I was thinking about, I've talked about on the shows about doing RV life, maybe trying that instead and getting out there on the road and, you know, being able to travel to things and film it and, you know, be more hands-on with you guys and just in life. I thought it'd be cool. And I've been thinking about it the last few years, and now it's like even that door is closing really quick. You know, I've got, my parents are still alive, and you know, one of them is not doing the greatest. He's got an issue there, but health issue. But the point is, I'd hate to be in some other state when this thing came down and I couldn't get back to be with my folks, you know, or family, or even friends out here. And that's fine. I'll be okay. I'm a big boy. I'll make it. But you know, the doors are closing all around. You know, the regions. They have America divided into, I believe it's 13 different FEMA regions. You can look this up. And so all this stuff's planned out before anyway. It's just at the same time, it's so interesting to see it all falling right into place. It's happening very quickly. I didn't see it happening quite this quickly before the crown virus came around. I just didn't see it coming quite this quick. But of course, I've been making the videos ever since it started, finding the things I find. So it's not a surprise anymore. But it is still a bit of a trip, just how fast everything's unfolding, isn't it? For the Great Reset.
Either been vaccinated or recently tested. Standardized process could be coming sooner than you think. In order to resume air travel, especially international flights, Blake believes airlines, countries, even individual U.S. states will insist on proof that you've either been vaccinated or recently tested negative for coronavirus.
California is
There you go.
if you're flying to a different state.
Oh, okay. Friend sent this to me just before I started the show, saying there was a story going around out there saying that NASA announced the Earth will go dark for 6 days in December. I didn't find the original story. This is just minutes before I started the show, so I went and found this real quick, pulled it up, so we'll check it out together. But, you know, again, guys, it's, you know, mainstream sources, especially, quote, fact checkers. Fact checker, that whole thing is just a joke these days. We know that. Because look at all the fact checkers they have for social media and just how incredibly whack they are. And tilted. And truly wicked. So keeping all that in mind, I know a lot of you out there in the audience love NASA. Just kidding. So it says verdict false. Says an article shared on Facebook claims NASA announced the world will experience total darkness between December 16th and December 22nd, 2020. There's no record. Verdict false. It says there's no record of NASA making any such statement. The false claim has circulated several times in recent years, according to a NASA spokesperson. Fact check. Okay. The article titled Alert, NASA confirms Earth will go dark for 6 days in December 2020 was published on the news blog Daily Buzz Live and claims NASA has announced the world will experience 6 days of total darkness due to a solar storm causing space debris to block the sun. A video of former NASA Administrator Charles Bolden encouraging families to practice emergency preparedness is embedded in the article. The world will remain dark for these 6 days, completely void of sunlight due to a solar storm which will cause dust and space debris to block 90% of the sun, the article reads, in part. Bolden urges Americans to remain calm as we experience the largest solar storm our solar system has seen in 250 years. However, there is no record of NASA announcing 6 days without light between December 16th, and we'll find out tomorrow, right? Some of you already know. December 16th and December 22nd, if NASA had, well, you don't already know, you're already in 16th, had made such an announcement. Okay, I mean, they make a point. If that had been a real thing, you would think that would make national news and be a really, really, really big deal. But it's also important. I've fallen into that at times too. I've learned the sites to stay away from. There's certain sites that I just won't deal with because they're really good at peppering good stories with just the most crazy, outlandish BS stuff ever you could ever imagine. So you got to be careful. And this is what Daily Buzz Live. I've never even heard of it. So it's a lot of sites like that that'll just, someone creates them. They'll put out stories that relate to conspiracy type stuff that gets everybody interested. A lot of it's real, a lot of it's true, and then they'll make up their own stories because the only place you can find, you know, when you're looking for the origin of some of these stories, like I've seen some of them are like, here's some fake ones, something like Mel Gibson says Hollywood's full of blood drinking pedos and stuff like this, or Keanu Reeves says that Hollywood is. All of those two right there off the top of my head, those are a couple that turned out to be totally bunk, made up from a couple of websites. Just because you couldn't find any other real source anywhere. Just someone made it up. And on YouTube, those videos, like 500,000 views, you know, some of these videos people putting up. Because some people have zero discernment. Even those of us with discernment can mess up from time to time. But I'm talking some of these people got no discernment. Maybe it's no shame. And they'll just throw anything up there that's a catchy headline. Oh, hey, it's clickbait. They call it clickbait. Anywho, there you go. The world's going dark tomorrow, says NASA. Apparently. Star of Bethlehem. Here's something real that's going to happen. Star of Bethlehem to appear in the sky on Christmas week. Jupiter and Saturn will conjoin together as a brightly shining double planet for the first time in 800 years. I feel like my friend Jacob Israel may have tackled this one recently. Some of his videos I catch, sometimes I'll see the title and I'll just be kind of scrolling through, and I'll do that with a lot of videos. And I'll get back to that. I'm going to go keep on going down. Anyway, Jacob covers a lot of stuff like this, so I wouldn't be surprised if he hadn't already tackled that. I need to go check his channel and just say hi to him. I love Jacob. Jacob Israel, Israel. No, he's not, quote, one of them. Go check him out if you never heard of him. Plus, he's a very, very happy, very positive, good vibes kind of a guy, you know, so his message is always really upbeat, no matter what, even if it's some pretty freaky stuff. It's good stuff. I'm talking a lot about Jacob, but he's my friend. I've had him on some shows. So I'll be watching. We'll be waiting and see what happens. When I see stories like this, I'm always expecting, this is supposed to be on December 21st. So it's less than a week away. I'll be curious to see any kind of ritualistic activity, any kind of certain crimes. I mean, I look for a lot of different things on those days just to see if, see what I can find. Sometimes you can find actual rituals that are taking place in real life on certain dates, certain times, certain planet alignments. But they'll be doing these rituals right in front of everybody. Sometimes a Super Bowl halftime show or the Grammy Awards, anything. But it's always right out there in front of us. It's just having the eyes to see it, right? And most of you do. Oh, yeah, this is Clara Lisa. And this is one of the girls that apparently she was one of the first to get the vaccine. 21,000 hearts. I'm supposing this is a real thing. She says, absolutely stoked to be one of the first in the world to get the vaccine this morning. Let this be 2 fingers up to the deniers and the conspiracy theorists. Science wins. And that's from, you look her up if you're interested, Claire Eliza. I guess she's one of the first people to get it. And now look at this. Delighted to announce that not only do I have shingles, I have shingles on my face. And this is after her getting the you-know-what. And then here's another one after that. The shingles are now in my ear and my mouth. Weep. Not as many thumbs up or not as many hearts up on these, is there? 21,000 here. Good girl. Good slave. Not so many hearts up on these 2 here. There you go. If you're not sure about that story, go look it up. Share what you find. Let us know. Andrew Cuomo. Oh, here it is. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is under consideration by Bo Biden for Attorney General of America. You gotta love it, man. You've got to love it. Why not? It's all collapsing anyway. Just continue the show. All right. Honk, honk away. New York Governor, a little, got to watch my language, got to watch my words. Not a fan. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is under consideration by Bo Biden for Attorney General. Gotta love that. Yes, yes, yes. Universal basic income has been a lifesaver to families during crown virus pandemic. California mayor. Just the headline, because we know where that's leading, and this is what they want. It's going to be a part of the Great Reset. The people that are left, gonna, at least they'll start them on this, right? Maybe they'll continue after the full-on chipping and everything, but we want to get you dependent on the beast, completely dependent on the beast. I guess I should check my email on Yahoo sometime. Look at that. 118. And this was pretty wild for me. I'm not used to seeing this, but this is also to me, this is what I'm wondering is if Bo Biden on the 21st, I think it's January 21st, right? And they're fully confirmed and everything. But if that happens, I'm wondering if what we're going to see is a rise up finally of people on the right side in America, which the people will always be there to rise up. It's just the politicians that never do. But if we're really going to see the people really stand up and really start fighting, and I don't mean violent, nasty ways. I believe a lot of the people are going to be Christian, and conservatives in general aren't crazy, violent people. We see it on the left, not so much on the right, but maybe we'll start seeing them creating these autonomous zones and maybe fighting back against the system in different ways. And it'll be interesting to see how it all works out, how it all plays out. But anyway, this is thousands of supporters arriving early for the Million MAGA March. This is from the 11th. So just 4 days ago, this happened. And you really think that all these people and all the other people that not just are on Trump's side, we could say in this case on Trump's side, but just people that aren't going to follow the narrative, you really think they're all just going to sit down now? We keep finding these stories over the last month or so, especially of Bo Biden and the Camel and some of these other people talking about, oh, now it's time for us to have unity. Now it's time to have peace. Now we can all come together. And it's such a slap in the face. Well, they know it. People know it. They're stirred up. So I don't think people are just going to sit down and relax and say, all right, let's just go with another, go with this administration and just, whatever, man, just continue, just continue it as, but it's not going to continue. That's the problem. It's not going to be like an Obama. If Biden winds up becoming the guy, it's not really going to be like an Obama. This is different because now we know, Biden's clearly a puppet. There's not much left of him anyway. And he's going to be used for the globalist, of course, and to completely dismantle America. Because as America goes, so goes the rest of the world, as they say. And there you have it. Anyway, let's check some of this out here.
Probably 20,000 Proud Boys right now in Washington, D.C. and Page.
By the way, there's a couple of videos I'm not sharing tonight because they're a little bit too rough, a little bit too violent, but there are some videos coming out over this past week. I found 2 where these types of folks, the Trump people, are catching up with some of these Antifa, and they're beating the snot out of them. It's, for me, I know I shouldn't enjoy seeing that. I don't want to say enjoy it, but it is kind of nice to see them getting back some of their own medicine, and they really can't take it. But I try not to fall to this. It's a very fleshly way to look at this. I don't want to fall into this and act like it's going to be like the greatest UFC event ever when all this stuff pops off, you know, because real people are getting hurt. Real lives are being destroyed. And that's something I have to remember. Even if I don't like Aunt Farta and those people, I mean, I really don't. But they're still human. All right. God loves all. God loves all of his children. And I try to keep it in that frame of mind. Otherwise, who knows? We'd probably, a lot of us, be out there doing things that were a little crazy and dangerous, I'm sure. I'm sure you didn't see this on the news.
Maybe the mark started tonight. Maybe the... Oh, boy. Yeah, I know they're going. All right. Okay. I know where they're...
There we go. Look at that. F Antifa. I mean, something had to happen, right? Are people just going to sit back and not do anything and keep seeing all these clips and news stories of Aunt Farta and BL plus M type people burning down cities and hurting people? And no, but that's the time we're in, man. This is what we're looking at. It's that division. And of course, in a way, it's kind of set up as the left-right paradigm type thing, but it goes beyond that. It's not like all these people are dupes and just Trump. You know, there is that. But it's not all like that. Same with the people on the other side. But regardless of the intricacies and the way people think and their beliefs and whatnot, it's still the sheep and the goats in so many ways. But unfortunately, yeah, this whole setup, this is what it's for. We're seeing everything truly being divided here in America in so many ways, all around the world. And we'll see how this pops off, man. We'll see what happens. January 21st, right? That's the date. Here it is. Another one here. YouTube will finally start removing videos falsely claiming... Oh, we already covered that. My bad. New Zealand lifts all C-19 restrictions, declaring the nation virus-free. I guess there's no clip on that, but just the headline, I suppose. Oh, there's a clip. Let it catch up to us. Let me pause this here. See if that helps. I think we got it. It's okay. We'll move on. Check this out. It's for our UK friends.
Phil, for the way it has named 6 new streets. Now they include Diversity Grove. City of Birmingham has been branded Wokeville for the way it has named 6 new streets. Now they include Diversity Grove, Equality Road and Humanity Close. The panel of judges selected the names from suggestions made by the public, but some locals have been quick to trounce the pigs.
These new street names are completely vacuous with zero connection to the people, history or culture of Birmingham, another uber-woke Labour initiative.
The politicisation of our landscape continues. The utter meaningless banality of these new names speaks volumes about the new hollow normal. Anyway, how about crass close, compliance crescent, woke wash way?
I'm calling it now. Someone's going to put a D at the end of humanity close.
Radio host and columnist John Gaunt says that Birmingham should have chosen names that reflect the city's achievements instead.
This is political correctness gone mad. This is snowflakes having a field day. How ridiculous to name these streets and these closes in this way. It's virtue signalling. I'm sure it's not in tune with most Birmingham people. It doesn't reflect what Birmingham is, what Birmingham's becoming. Birmingham's a modern, thrusting city, but we could talk about the achievements of Birmingham and Birmingham people. There's loads and loads of people, not necessarily people, but organisation, bands, groups, great achievements they could have named this after. But no, they want to flag up that they're diverse and they're politically correct. It's an absolute joke, and I'm sure that Brummies, ordinary working-class Birmingham people, will be laughing at this as much as everybody else.
There you go. USPS omits Christmas in ad for holiday-themed stamps. Look at that. The U.S. Postal Service is under fire for omitting Christian-themed Christmas stamps from a recent ad promoting its holiday stamps. Don't forget your holiday stamps, read the ad as reported by Blaze.com. You'll find them at your nearest post office or on eBay. The ad included pictures of 3 stamps, one showing a candle holder and 9 candles ablaze with the label Hanukkah, a second featuring a puzzling emblem above an open book with the word Kwanzaa, a curious holiday that has gained popularity among a handful of Black Americans interested in promoting African-American separatism, and a third apparently meant to illustrate the American Christmas tradition featuring a gingerbread house but no Christmas or other word to delineate the significance. Of most concern to those sounding off about the ad was the absence of a stamp commemorating the Christian holiday, which is the majority reason for the season. We talked about that earlier. No stamp featuring the Virgin Mary and Child Jesus, no Magi, no angels heralding the coming of the Savior, not even a St. Nicholas or Santa Claus. But it's still a good sign of the times. I mean, it does still show you, right? It's even through that, even though Christmas is very much a pagan holiday, and we can get into that. Most of y'all already know this, but even though that, there's still something of significance here because many people in the world do view that as Jesus' birthday, and they celebrate Christ during that time. And so this still means something, you know. It's that encroaching, that coming in, that pushing more into our lives, that taking away your rights, taking away your money, taking away your traditions. It's also that whole end of the fourth age type stuff, but that's another thing, huh? The obviously intentional omission prompted a firestorm of Twitter backlash. Okay, we got it. We understand, don't we? Here's that other video I was telling you I was going to show you that's, I think, pretty sad. This is from Alex Belfield, the Voice of Reason YouTube channel. Inhumane. All right, let's just... Apparently this lady is at the old folks' home, or a young lady is outside the window talking to, I believe, her mother. We'll see. Her grandmother. Here you go.
Well, right. Well, can I tell you, for the record, that her colour is very poor. You know, she's quite blue around the lips, and her breathing is quite fast, and that's, to me, that is a cause for concern.
Well, like I say, we've not had any concerns with the
Well, I know, but you never do have concerns for her. Do you know, with respect, you don't. You know, I understand you're doing your best, but, you know, I can see that my mother is not well just by looking at her through the window.
Well, all I can suggest is that you ring up on Monday morning.
Well, what do you mean I ring up on Monday morning? That's 2 whole days away.
Well, like I say, I'm not the manager. So
you're not the manager, but I mean, I'm reporting. Hang on a minute, just a minute before you go. I am asking you. I want this doctor. Hang on a minute. Don't take her away. Hey, don't take her away. Don't. Take her away! Don't take her away! You bastards! You absolute bastards! Oh, God.
Yeah. How about that? Man. 81-year-old man named William Shakespeare. You can't even write this stuff. 81-year-old man named William Shakespeare is second person in the UK to receive the C-19 vaccine. It's just like I told you. I feel like they do this and they're laughing at people.
Good evening and thank you for joining us.
Laughing at us. And they're trying to put William Shakespeare to this like this is some historical monumental moment. You see? These people are sick. We're dealing with, seriously, the monsters.
Complex effort to eradicate a disease in modern history is now underway. Tonight, the British government has started the first public campaign to vaccinate people for coronavirus. And as we come on the air, the U.S. appears poised to approve the shots and begin giving them as soon as this weekend. The FDA says data it has reviewed from the drug maker Pfizer shows the company's vaccine is not only safe, it is effective. The agency will take up emergency approval of the shots in public hearings on Thursday. Still, it could take months to vaccinate enough Americans to stop the spread of the virus, which is now exploding nationwide. More than 15 million Americans have now been infected, and just 8 days in, December is already on track to be the worst month of the pandemic. Think about that. That is why President-elect Joe Biden is vowing tonight that his administration will give an average of 1 million doses of vaccines a day, promising to give 100 million shots in his first 100 days. We've got a lot of new reporting tonight for you and your family. Our team is covering it all. CBS's Charlie D'Agata is going to lead off our coverage from England. Good evening, Charlie.
Good evening, Nora. The health services said thousands of vaccinations took place today, including the first one right here at this hospital in what the health secretary called the beginning of the end of COVID. Margaret Keenan, with one sleeve pulled back, took one historic leap forward. The 90-year-old grandmother became the first person in the world to receive a clinically approved vaccine.
I say go for it. Go for it because it's free and it's the best thing that's ever happened.
But first, maybe much ado about nothing, when next came, poetically, William Shakespeare of Warwickshire. They were among thousands inoculated today, a mass vaccination the UK government dubbed V-Day, focusing first on those over 80 and the medical workers administering the shots. Oh, a sense of relief, if not celebration, in a country with more than 62,000 COVID fatalities and climbing, one of the highest death tolls per capita in the world,
V-Day.
Worse than the U.S.
That's been programmed on us.
You understand that the virus is, alas, still rising.
I can't even listen to this guy. Remember when people thought he was going to be, Boris Johnson was supposed to be like the mirror of Trump, another Trump, and hardcore conservative, and do all this great stuff for his country. And boy, has he failed on that. At least he showed who he really is. Just so many actors, all these people, just LARPing, bunch of live action role players in many cases. Not every single, I believe, but many. Every country must declare a state of climate emergency, UN chief tells world leaders. Of course, we know that's a big part of the agenda. It's from 2 days ago. The leader of a low-lying nation at risk from global warming has suggested major emitters would go close to committing climate genocide if they do not do more to cut emissions. Mia Motley. How about that for a name? Sounds like an evil genius type name. Mia Motley. You don't want to mess with Mia Motley. Mia Motley, the Prime Minister of Barbados, made the claim during a virtual summit in which United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres urged all countries to declare a climate emergency. Oh, the climate emergency. I've shown it in videos in the past. You got to love that. You can find all these stories that on the news. You'll have to do some digging nowadays on the internet, but you can find them. It's always like 9 years away, right? Or 10 years away, or 15 years away, or 20 years away. That's been going on for like 40 years. Tons of people. Prince Charles, even Alexandria a Corzette, whatever her name is, a Crazette. I can't remember that girl's name. Crazy eyes that one has, though. She got them crazy eyes. You know what I mean. You've seen them before. I hope you don't have them. Maybe you do. If you do, as long as you're a good person, I think you'll be okay. But if you're a bad person and you got them crazy eyes, I'm getting chills. All right, let's move on. Yeah, this one's crazy. I know Jacob covered this. Jacob Israel. I found this a little late. If I'd seen it on time, I would have put it in my most recent video because it ties right in. You guys seen this? It's the Vatican nativity scene, and it's Sumerian. It's the what is it? Not space astronaut, ancient astronaut. Some of this ancient astronaut stuff going on here. There you go. It's a Sumerian. So they're starting to tell the truth. I'll put this into, I'm going to save this. I want to put this into something else. I'm already thinking about it. Darn, though, this would have been good in my latest, but still, it's okay. Everything happens for a reason, right? There you go, man. Very, very interesting. Pentagrams all over Mary's little dress here. It's wonderful. I guess that's Mary. Here's a video clip. Yeah, there's a couple of pentagrams on there. I was looking, but they're mostly four-pointed stars. Yeah, there's a couple of stars on there. There is a pentagram there. A lot of four-pointed stars. There's L. Was the bull. Where's this? There's that horned creature. Is always the horned creature. Are these the Magi? I don't know, man. Ancient astronaut, though, right there. You got to love it right in our face. But it's also, I told you, everything's coming out, right? It's that time we're in. The truth on everything's coming out. Everything. And it's amazing to watch. Remember, God's in control of everything. Can't freak out. Can't wig. It's interesting to watch how it plays out. Bo Jiden has an Instagram account for his dogs, and they just posted pictures of them using President Trump as a chew toy. And this is what I was saying earlier when they're talking about unity and healing. Now we can all come together. No, that's not what they're going to keep going after. On the surface now, it's the Republicans or the Trump supporters. But as I've told you for a couple of years now, but that's where that'll lead. First the statues, then the churches, right? So it's going to lead eventually to what the Bible told us, which it's already there anyway. They're just not coming right out and saying it that way. Like, go after the Christians, but it's already happening. Because a majority of Trump supporters, I would dare guess, are believers. All right. Consent withdrawn. Entire town of Mossy Rock, Washington defies Governor Inslee's latest 19 restrictions. Let's take a look at this.
We got to take care of ourselves out here.
It's been a rough year in the small city of Mossy Rock. The cancellation of the annual Blueberry Festival, along with Loggers Jubilee in nearby Morton and other Lewis County events, on top of increased COVID restrictions, have pushed some to the breaking point, emotionally and financially.
But what people don't understand is those three events in these towns is what gets the town by for the rest of the year because of the tourism.
Washington 3% organized this rally to support the businesses here. People came from all over the state.
I just want to quickly say, isn't it great? I like this stuff, man. I like seeing this. People standing up, pulling together, because this is what it's going to take. And I don't know how long we'll be here through everything coming, especially when the AC's on scene. Will there be the catching away the harpazo? I pray for it. I hope so. You know, I pray for it. But I also don't just go blindly into it just thinking, okay, everything's going to be fine because we're going to, you know, and so don't worry. If I thought that way, I wouldn't have been doing videos and shows and my passion, my everything for the last 14 years like this. I'm trying. I'm trying. I just want to help. And there's a lot of us like that. I'm rambling again, aren't I? Anyway, I really do like to see it, though, and I love to see. This is what it'll take. And so if we're here for a long time, it's going to be, the Bible even tells us, some Christians will die by the sword during this time. Some are going to be beheaded, and captured and beheaded. Maybe not both. Maybe it'll just be captured all the way till the end of it. And then some will be out in the wilderness or out in the mountains, out in the forests, communities. So in a way, when I see some of this, I kind of feel like we're seeing the beginning of that, people making connections. I strongly feel a lot of these people already talk about a lot of the stuff we talk about. So they're networking, I'm sure, in some ways. Is that what, this my perception, that's my perception when I see this stuff. Now let's finish it up.
Disease, but it's not being handled properly. Restaurants don't spread it.
The city's mayor has taken heat for pushing back against the restrictions. He believes they have other consequences.
We all understand that there is an issue here, but when it comes to shutting down businesses and not looking at all the other parts of it, the domestic violence, the drug abuse, the alcoholism, all of those things, suicide rates, none of that stuff is really being talked about.
Event organizers encourage those coming to the event to support local businesses. Several of the restaurants had lines out the door for much of the afternoon.
I'm really pleased to see that we do have a lot of support here and it's gone peaceful. And I'm happy for that. So I'm happy for our businesses.
The event remained peaceful, even if the anger for many here still remains. They feel a disconnect from the decisions made in the state's largest cities and say what's good for big city Washington may not be right for their community.
I so love that. I just do. I'm from a town that used to be small, but it's grown pretty big over the years. But when I was a little one, it was a very, very small town. Now it's quite big, but I got a lot of relatives in small towns and friends in small towns. I love small towns. I love the vibe, the feeling. And this is so true to form. They stand together. I love it. Let's continue. We'll finish this up.
Violence, the drug abuse, the alcoholism, all of those things, suicide rates, none of that stuff is really being talked about.
Event organizers encourage those coming to the event to support local businesses. Several of the restaurants had lines out the door for much of the afternoon.
I'm really pleased to see that we do have a lot of support here and it's gone peaceful. And I'm happy for that. So I'm happy for our businesses.
The event remained peaceful, even if the anger for many here still remains. They feel a disconnect from the decisions made in the state's largest cities and say what's good for big city Washington may not be right for their community as well.
They're frustrated of being told what they can and can't do, who they can and can't have in their home, where they can and can't shop. I mean, you got Walmart, Target, and all the big box stores that are open, but little mom and pop businesses like this can't be open? That ain't right.
Amy Marino, King 5 News.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I have a feeling we'll be seeing a lot more of that very soon. Elite English girls' school goes woke, rewrites white Western narrative of history lessons. Chubbs just woke up. The Clifton School, founded in the 1800s as Wimbledon House, which charges pupils' parents up to $40,000, will insert lessons on black tutors, Queen Victoria's black goddaughter, and how Africans helped to resist the slave trade into its syllabus, according to the Times, as well as teaching its words about the Song dynasty, which reigned in China from 960 to 1279. The school, which generates a chunk of its revenue from wealthy Chinese sending their children to England for an elite education, already allows Cantonese and Mandarin speakers to earn qualifications in Chinese. We wanted to challenge the predominantly Western European narrative and to look beyond the limitations of Britain's island story to discover hidden histories, both nationally and internationally. I read these, it's always just more division and virtue signaling. And many, if not most, I feel, just throwing it out there, but many, if not most, black people see this. I'm sure they see it for, it's a slap in the face, a lot of it. Again, I'm not a black man, haven't had that experience, but had friends, have friends, talk to them online here on the shows, black people, brown people, white people, all kinds of people. And you can't just judge someone by the color of their skin, obviously, man. There's so much more going on with people being individuals. But this system doesn't want us to be individuals, doesn't want us to think for ourselves, keeps trying to divide us. It's tribalism. They put us in different camps, and then they make us hate each other. They start turning us against each other because of our differences. It's what they have you focus on. It's terrible. Again, that's why it helps to be brothers and sisters in Christ. Not worried about, your skin color, where you're from, your sexuality, whatever it is, any of these things. It's not how I see you. Do you have Christ? Yes. Bam. There's already the connection. Doesn't mean everyone's going to be hunky-dory. There's always differences in personalities and things like this, but mostly, I believe, brothers and sisters in Christ, we know each other. But then that would get off into the other side of it, because a lot of them are Pharisees as well. There's a lot of Pharisees, a lot of religious-minded people, if you will. And then that's a whole other story, because unfortunately they've been perfectly programmed by a lot of their denominations with their dogma or man-made rules, or having their own interpretations of things that might not actually line up biblically. And they're run this way. There's aspects of the church I was raised in that believe only the people that go to my denomination are going to heaven. I remember believing that when I was little. That's just one thing. But that was, I'd say, if anything, the worst. It was also just, it's one of those quiet type churches, man. You don't make any noise. You sit there, you listen. Everyone's quiet, kind of solemn. You leave when it's done. Sometimes you have a lunch where everybody brings a potluck. Get your potluck lunch. There are some fantastic people that go to that church, though, really. The one I was raised in, my parents still go. But now it's all Zoom. They all go to church on Zoom. That's the new way now. But anywho, let's move on. What do we got here?
I've been going to the gym.
It's just something I thought I'd share. This is from the Jim and Sam show. David Tell is a comedian. I don't know if you guys ever heard of him or not. Many of you probably have. He used to have a comedy show, did several seasons. I think it was After Dark or Up Late. I'm not sure. David Tell on how the crown virus has changed New York City. But he's definitely a New York City guy. That's where his show is based. He's always talked about New York City, David Tell. And just thought it'd be interesting to hear a bunch of comedians, right? Just hear their perspective, real life perspective on what's happening here. And I don't know. Let's see. You know how this show is. Sometimes it's a little random. But is this random? You decide.
I joined this gym, and it's a Jewish Orthodox gym in Brooklyn. And it's usually very packed.
5,000 people lifting one
the
casket.
exercises is pulling the head of a chicken off.
Yeah. In New York, it'll bounce back, guys. It's going to bounce back.
You think so?
No, honestly, I don't. But I would say that, I got to stay here. I don't know why you young guys are still here, but honestly, it seems like it's a different New York now. It's a lot of scootering around for no reason. It's a lot of I don't know. People are still driving around at night. It's kind of like being in high school. Everything closes early. You got no money. You're walking around. There's nothing going on. Fights break out for no reason. I don't know what's happening, but yeah. I guess once the cold really hits, because it's feeling it now, that it'll be a different level of I guess sad out there. But what am I going to say?
If you were us, where would you go?
Peachy keen before this.
Right. If you were us, Dave, where would you go?
Wuhan, China. Bring it back to the source. Those people need laughs.
Yeah, let's kill the head vampire.
Will we ever be able to collect bats again? I don't know.
I have all this bat leftovers in my fridge.
Can a man have a few pet bats laying around the house?
Now, have you thought of moving at all? I know you love New York. I know you just bought your place. Have you thought of fuck man, I would actually move somewhere else?
I'd have to bring my mother with me, you know, and
right.
You know, it's funny with her and I, we don't Zoom. I just scream into her Ring camera. Did you eat something? No, I got to stay here because of her. I'm the primary care, me and my sister, so I got to be in this area. She's on the island. And, you know, we were really in the zone there for a while. This is kind of a good COVID story there because, you know, she got the antibodies. And we were like, whoa, excellent. We can take her out now. So I took her out to a restaurant, and it was like, you know, that moment like where they're like allowed to eat back inside. And it was like, should we do it? Should we not do it? Is it safe? So we were sitting outside the restaurant, and then a swarm of bees attacked us. And she's definitely allergic to bees. So I was like, we better get inside and just roll the dice here because, you know, the bee sting, you know, you're not even going to get in the hospital. They won't let you in the parking lot with that now. You got to have something better than that. So, you know, that's what we had to do. But yeah, it's very difficult to be. You got a lot of first responders out there. I don't know what these people are going through. It's horrible. So I would say for you young guys, I don't know. I mean, like going on the road, there really is not much road out there, and whatever is out there, you know, is it safe? Is it not safe? We're all rolling with that, but you know, you still want to go out there and perform. So, you know, it's really tough. I really don't know what to say. Like, you know, there is no good place right now, but New York definitely is so different. It really is like kind of, my joke was like, you know, if you ever wonder what it was like to live in Rochester in the 90s. Slam on Rochester. What kind of masks are you guys rocking out there?
Oh, I don't know. I have that.
All right, that's pretty much it. And those guys are not like awake or nothing like that. It's just they're just regular goofball comedians, and I thought it'd be interesting to hear his perspective. So this one's kind of interesting. Now, you know, look, it's another one of those. I can't verify this. This is the only place I found it. I'd seen a comment somewhere. I swear I'd seen a comment earlier that somebody was saying someone to film this. One of the crew people filmed this from an airplane. But anyway, it looks like a portal. So look, I can't verify it. I don't know. This could be some cool CGI trick someone made and put out there. You get some views. I don't know. If so, it's not working. Haven't got 2,000 views yet. That's pretty good, but not that great. It's interesting. So I'm going to play it. And what's really crazy, we'll watch it a couple times, because if it's real, there's something really wild happens near the end of this. But if it's not, well done. They did a really good fake here. Check it out. Like I said, I don't know, man, you know, but like I said, look on both sides. One, definitely could be a fake. Two, what if it's real? One of those things, someone's in an airplane, they see something like, they turn the phone on, you see the airplane's moving, and then it just kind of moves so far they can't look behind. You know, the windows are kind of curvy in an airplane, aren't they, to a degree most of the time, or whatever, but you're limited in range is the point. But so I try to look at both sides. If it's real, it's pretty crazy, because at the end of this, it looks like something black is starting to pour out of it or come out of it. And it reminds me of, I've shown you guys some of these clips. There's this certain type of UFO. It's been seen all around the world as well, several times filmed from airplanes. One of them made Fox News, which was big, like 3 million views or something that one got. But it's unlike anything you've seen before. And it looks like a, I always say, like one of those Harry Potter monsters or something. It looks like a berserker. Is what they're called. I can't remember what they're called, but it looks like more like a spirit or something. It's long, and, or at least it, I don't know. It's long. Yeah, it's really long looking, and it can stop in midair and then change position 90 degrees and move. And it looks like it's almost got a long black cloak on. Not that it's a cloak, but it looks that way. but it almost looks like pieces of it are kind of falling off as it goes. It's very strange. Anyway, those of you who've been with my channel for a while know what I mean. I've shown you that one before. I even did a video. I think I called it, "Is This the Grim Reaper?" or something. But so that's just the way my mind works. I'm not saying that's what it is. That's what I thought when I first saw this. Wow, if this was real and that black thing's coming out, what if it's that thing? And what if it's this, you know? Doesn't mean I'm right. That's why I'm not making a video about this. But, you know, something I think about. Let's watch it again. You'll see what I mean. Near the end, it looks like something's coming out of it. You see it right there. Watch. Looks like something starts coming out. See? We're going in. I don't know. All right. You decide. It's one of those you decides. What the? Oh, there's no big headline. It just says, sources confirm the New York Times report that the Cleveland Indians will be dropping their nickname, while it's unclear what they will replace it with. The Indians, who have been called that for more than a century and nearly 17,000 games, will be no more. I don't have any follow-up on that, but just not surprised against more of that virtue signaling, woke stuff. You know, we get it. But it's also that division. You know, they're rising up. Remember, warriors, soldiers, rise up. Bill Gates says bars and restaurants should sadly, right, Billy, be closed for 4 to 6 months. No return to, quote, normal until 2022. See how it's gone from 2 weeks to almost 3 years? Just like that. Whatever, Billy. King Billy. Gallup, churchgoers only U.S. group that avoided 2020 mental health decline. According to a Gallup poll released Monday, frequent church attendees were the only group in the U.S. that did not experience a mental health decline in 2020. Gallup has conducted its November Health and Healthcare Survey annually since 2001. The 2020 results show 34% of Americans consider their mental health excellent, and 76% consider their mental health excellent and good. Both are all-time lows. Okay, cool, man. Neat. It makes sense. To me, it does. Oh, we watched this earlier. Black National Anthem. I'm not following a lot of the. I definitely am not watching a lot of this election type stuff going on. But something happened recently where they're trying to get. Well, right here it says. They said that they were Republican electors there to cast their vote for president. State police declined to let them enter a building or leave votes offered in manila envelopes. So I'm sure this is probably something widespread as well. Don't know if this is set up or not, but I thought I'd show you. It kind of explains itself. But this is just, again, more of this, the scenario with the election fraud, as it were.
I'm not going to get into a political debate. I'm following orders.
Political debate. It's the official sealed document that is certificate of ascertainment has also the GOP electors. They are here. They're trying to do their constitutional duty.
I understand.
And their constitutional duty requires them to be at the Senate chamber today at 2 p.m.
I understand they're not being permitted in. If you have a problem, you can contact the governor's office.
And or the governor's press release this morning that said COVID. Is that the reason being given? No. All right, that was what the press release is. Another reason why
you'd have to ask the governor's office.
We have a copy of paper.
Oh, this is that Canada? No, it's not Canada. Sorry, he just had Canada gloves on. Michigan Republicans come to the side of the Capitol building and request entrance. So just, I guess it's Michigan. There you go. He did say Michigan. I guess I should pay attention. Anyway, there's that one. I do pay attention. This is from FDA.gov. I showed you guys last week. Still just want to show you one more time if you want to show people this. If anybody asks you why you don't want to take this, jab. This is from FDA.gov. This is official from there. And this is FDA safety surveillance of C-19 vaccines, draft working list of possible adverse event outcomes. Subject to change, of course. But these are all the possible after effects you're going to have if you take the jab. There's a bunch of them, you see? A bunch. Convulsions, seizures, stroke, narcolepsy, anaphylaxis. Bunch. So there you go. Just if you want to know, if you want to share, giving you the info. Alex Jones faces calls for arrest after apparent Bo Biden threat. Again, guys, this shows you that the obvious, what's happening with so-called news in America. And they would do this. I mean, I could see this happening. I mean, look at all the times. Of course, we know the setup and everything, but look at all the times that Trump was threatened and barely a peep. But then this kind of thing. Alex Jones. But then again, there's Alex Jones. So we know this guy. Again, I still listen to his show sometimes, and I take away the information I need. Man, that's it. You know, it's sometimes he says things that are funny. Sometimes it's cringe to me. And then, you know, it's a lot of times when it's this public stuff, he does cringe things. And this isn't the first time he's done that. There's an old video. I don't know if YT's totally scrubbed it yet or not, but there's a bunch of people protesting something about the Second Amendment in Austin, I believe it was. They were being peaceful about it. And then here comes Jones with his megaphone screaming and yelling. And the people are even sitting there like, dude, calm down. We got this, man. You're going to make us all look like lunatics. They had news out there and stuff. And it looked bad. All right. It wasn't a good look. And ever since that, there's also a lot of things I owe to Alex Jones. I mean, a lot of his work early on for me 14 years ago helped wake me up. But you know how it is, these rabbit holes we go through, and we're all on different levels of understanding. And I remember back in the day when I'd see people try to warn me about Alex Jones, and I'd think they were bad people and whatever, they didn't understand. And then as the years go on, I finally saw it. This is many years ago, all right? So I'm not bad-mouthing Alex Jones either. Again, he's done a lot of things that are really good, you know, but he's done a lot of things that are really bad for the community, for people who are trying to be awake and tell the truth. It's a mixed bag, you know. That's my take on it, at least. Alex Jones is facing calls for his arrest after the conspiracy theorists, let's see the news, they love that term. You know it was developed, right, after JFK to shut people up. These conspiracy theories that the government had something to do with it after the conspiracy theorists told a Donald Trump rally that President-elect Bo Biden will be removed one way or the other. The InfoWars host has been accused of attempt, and this could just be, of course, them media just going after him. I mean, I haven't seen this clip. And just saying that, it's really not that big of a deal, is it? But then again, see, here's mediastouch.com. Why hasn't Alex Jones been arrested yet? Time to arrest Alex Jones. This was a threat against the president-elect. It's not protected speech. Arrest him. Alex Jones needs to be arrested, but how about we start with a single Republican calling him out for his insane, racist, anti-American rants. So you see where this is going. We get it. We know what it is. We know the game. Divide and conquer, ultimately. Order out of chaos, they say. This is pretty cool. Check this out. This guy, this is a Costco. I'm thinking somewhere in Southern California.
Don't let them do it. You know why we're under this lockdown right now? Because all the information is coming out about COVID, and they know it's a farce. Hey guys, you must not do this. Just keep going, guys. If you continue, this is the life that you will have. Just keep going, guys. Keep going. Don't tell me I have the right. You know what? Governor Newsom doesn't have the right. Shut us down. For me, we'll wear a mask. That's right. All right, you know that's right. We've got to stand up for ourselves because this governor is going to keep us locked down until we do something about it. And I want to know, are you going to let this happen? It's a beautiful day outside. Don't let them do it.
How about that? How about that? What do you think? Good. I think it's good. Wouldn't hurt anybody. All right. News story. This is from, I give it 24 hours ago, a day ago. Let's check this out. More mask madness.
All right, welcome back to Hannity. Last week we saw a disturbing story, this time out of Colorado. A family was removed from a United Airlines flight because their 2-year-old daughter, well, she was not wearing a face mask. Take a look.
Why? We're over here holding this mask on her face. I'm sorry, sir.
United did provide a statement to us regarding the incident, saying that the health and safety of their customers is their highest priority. They're also confirmed the family is not banned from flying in the future. Here with more, the parents of that 2-year-old removed from the flight. Ellie's is with us, Orben, and also Erhard Orben is with us. Well, first of all, my kids are a little older than you guys. I've been there, done that. Am I wrong in thinking most people want to just help you guys out in a moment like that because we can all relate to that? Aline?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We've gotten so much support. That's actually how this video got so viral, because people just couldn't believe what happened to us.
Yeah, and I'm looking, you know, Erhard, you're there. It's like you're trying to, like, okay, I'll try and keep her covered. Don't worry, I'll work on it. Then they just say, get the hell off the plane? How did that go?
You know, it was very, very confusing for me as well. We were allowed to board the plane, and then once we sat down, a supervisor came up to us and asked us to deplane. And the entire time we were trying to keep the mask on her, we kept switching back and forth between Elise and I. And the flight wasn't even that full. And what you said before was very interesting, that nobody else on the plane actually said anything. I know if I was on a plane and this situation was happening, I would have stood up and said something as well.
You know, and I'm watching you two, and you guys are trying to follow the rules. Ellie's, it's a 2-year-old little girl. You're doing everything humanly possible. I'm sure you had an important trip. Then I heard that you couldn't even get your luggage back. Ellie's, tell us about it.
Yeah, so after we got kicked off the plane, they proceeded to tell us that we weren't going to get our 2 bags, which had everything in it, and our car seat. Then they pulled back the plane because, I mean, I almost had a heart attack. We live 2 hours from the airport, so if we didn't have a car seat, I don't even know how we would have gotten back. So they did pull the car seat off, but not our bags. So we had to wait more than 24 hours for our bags to arrive. So we totally missed our trip.
Okay, so you missed your trip. You had to fight to get the car seat so you could drive your daughter home, and then your luggage goes, I think your destination was New York, if I remember.
Yes, Newark, yeah.
Yeah, maybe, listen, don't come to New York. It's not the greatest, it's not the safest place. They cut $1 billion off the police. I don't know if it's a bad idea. You know, I'm just wondering in moments like that, because I think if anyone that's had kids, you're looking at this cute kid, it's impossible to keep a mask on a 2-year-old. It's just impossible. You're trying the best you can. And, you know, I'm watching you as the dad. You're there, you know, you're holding it in place. I got her, I'll keep her. And if the plane's not full, why don't they just say, okay, we're going to cordon off this section of the plane for you guys. Do the best you can. We'll get you there and get your daughter there safely. Hopefully an hour into the flight, she falls asleep, right?
Yeah, that would have been best case scenario. I think that would have been something that could have been done since the flight was not full, but it was not done. I mean, the flight attendant that we talked to initially, so basically none of the flight attendants spoke to us after we boarded the plane. After that, it was just the actual supervisor who kicked us off the plane. So there could have been a difference.
There you go. How about that? It's pretty wild.
Governor
For a
Cuomo
2-year-old.
holding a press conference.
Oh, this is on Tamara Desiree Magdalene YouTube channel. And this is a good catch. Media gaffe, hell employees. Watch this. Let's watch kind of a little bit here in the beginning.
Governor Cuomo of New York holding a press conference, and embedded within that press conference, Governor Cuomo of New York holding a press conference, and embedded within that press conference.
You got to watch the music copyright. We'll see here in a second. I'll put it up here. Here's the clip.
Conference is a live shot, which we're about to take a look at now, of the first vaccinations in New York. Two Northwell Health employees have volunteered to be two Northwell Health employees.
The nurse looks over at him.
In New York, two Northwell Health employees have volunteered to be two Northwell Health employees.
Or doctor.
Health employees.
Two Northwell Health employees.
Look at all those. Look at the rainbow of pyramids behind them.
Health employees.
Two Northwell Health employees.
As above, so below. Connected at the base. Look at that. Rainbow pyramids. As above, so below. All right, got it. You can watch the whole video. Oops. Over at her channel if you're interested. Ooh, I've never seen that happen before. Told you I have to update this computer. I've had this one for like 5 years, so I think it's bad. Now, all right, here's what I wanted to share with you. I've covered New York City Cathedral in videos for years, St. John's Cathedral. I believe it's prophetic, and you've seen it in other places as well. It's one of those sites, a very out in the open occult site, if you will, hidden before your very eyes, hidden in plain sight. But it's very well known. I mean, because over the years, people's eyes have really opened up to this kind of a thing. That's how it's all being exposed now over the last decade or so, especially. But it worked for a really long time. A lot of the stuff really was hidden in plain sight, and nobody really saw it for what it was. But everything's changed now. Part of that's with computers and knowledge at your fingertips, and then part of it's spiritual, of course. I believe it's a spiritual awakening. That it's a gift through the Holy Spirit to understand a lot of these things. And it's not just me, it's a lot of you, if not most of you, and tons of other people out there in the world from different places. It's a worldwide thing. It's not just on YouTube or not just in America. Look at that. I didn't even mean to. I stopped it at 33. Oh boy. Remember, 33 itself isn't oh wait, no, I thought I stopped it there. It's 33 seconds long. All right. Interesting. See, this is what I'm wanting to look more into, because this just happened yesterday. I recently found this story. But there was a bang outside of New York City Cathedral, St. John's. And as I told you, it's very prophetic. If you haven't seen it, just go online, look up images of St. John's Cathedral, NYC. And you'll see what I mean. It shows the birthing of the Antichrist. It shows New York City being wiped out by a massive wave. And that's just for starters. Got all-seeing eye stuff, of course. The hidden controllers in cloaks, all kinds of things. Anyway, let's go ahead and... So I don't know much about what happened here. I haven't looked deep into it. I looked up the occult holidays to see if December 14th was anything, but there was nothing there that I could find. Maybe you guys find something. So I'm not sure about that. Again, I haven't done much of a dive on this, but let's just watch it.
New York City police say they shot and killed a gunman who opened fire after an outdoor concert in New York City. This was Sunday afternoon. Wow, happened on the steps of the historic St. John the Divine Cathedral in Manhattan. Witnesses say the man was shouting, "Kill me," before he started shooting. Luckily, no bystanders hurt there. He had two semiotic weapons and a bag with a rope, knives, a Bible, and a full can of gasoline. There were two semiotic weapons and a bag with a rope, knives, a Bible, and a full can of gasoline. No word yet on those.
So I'm going to be looking more into this one. I just feel like there's going to be something I'll find. We'll see. I need to look into the concert. I need to look into the person and to see what information comes out. But these are the things I get, I don't want to say attracted to, but I just feel like I want to look more into. Sometimes I find nothing or not enough to talk about, but every now and then I do,
That I am.
This is may seem weird to you, but it's something I stumbled into I'd seen it in a forum somewhere, and they were talking about this guy's meltdown. But his name is Perez Hilton. Maybe you've heard of the guy, but he became famous, kind of a celebrity, a D-grade type celebrity in America many years ago. He became famous for just kind of talking about celebrities and exposing celebrity secrets, just being obsessed with Hollywood and stuff like this. You know the type. But it's interesting now because now many years later, he's still around. He's got his YouTube channel. And many years later now, it's interesting that he's experiencing cancel culture. Apparently, he's been bullying people on TikTok. You know, again, just talking. Well, now it's considered bullying, but on TikTok, you know, he's talking about celebrities, talking about famous celebrities on TikTok. There's some girl named Charlie D'Amelio. I guess she's considered the most popular person on TikTok. He was going in on her. But just again, just being a troll. We've seen that around here, you know, seen it on YouTube, of course, and tons of other channels, but they get attacked. But like people that try to make a name by attacking you and things like this, I don't know. So I felt that off of this guy anyway, just kind of looking into some of this. But it's just interesting. And I looked into some of his other things. He's very kind of left, if you will, you know, full on with the SJW type stuff and all this. So that's why I found this interesting to see what these people get to experience when they get to feel cancel culture. Because apparently he lost his TikTok or something over talking all this trash about TikTok celebrities. But we'll watch just a little bit. But that was my take on it. I just thought, not that I enjoy someone suffering. It's not that. It's just interesting to see how this kind of person, these types of people, feel when they've been doing it all this time and bagging on people, doing what they want, saying what they want, getting away with it because they were on the right side, if you will, of it all, of this beast system. But when it turns on them and they get bit, it's just interesting to see how that goes, you know.
Some of you may have heard that I have been permanently banned from TikTok. I want to give you guys some updates on that and share some more information. First, the reason that TikTok gave me for permanently banning my account without any warning is multiple community guidelines violations. If you guys don't know how TikTok works, it's run by bots, artificial intelligence. I did a backup TikTok account. And TikTok just deleted my backup account. I am feeling numb. And I don't want to seem overly dramatic, but I feel like my world is crumbling. This feels like a death to me. And I want to reveal that in a Hail Mary pass, hoping for a Christmas miracle, I have reached out to Charlie D'Amelio and her family. And with all of the humility in the world, I grovel to them.
So that's it. I don't want to continue with that, but you kind of see my point on that, because when I saw that, it made me think of all the great channels I know of here on YouTube that were just trying to tell the truth about things. And these people got it all taken away. They lost their everything. A lot of them, it was their life's work. I mean, most of them, I believe, have moved on to other places, but so many just earnest people. And you may not have agreed with everything, but their heart was in the right place, truly. And they were just trying to find the truth like the rest of us. So many great, well-meaning people like that throughout the years have lost their everything here on YouTube. I mean, their everything. Not just blocked, but just like removed. Everything gone and blocked. And of course, all the other tricks that happen here on YouTube sometimes. So, and you know, you can feel their pain for real. I mean, man, it's like it's a very, very real situation for a lot of us just trying to tell the truth. And they've been taken down and, you know, bullied, if you will. But anyway, maybe that seems random. Maybe you took something from it. I'm not sure. This right here, I'm going to do.
Wait,
This is the YouTube Streamy Awards 2020. I'm going to wind up doing a little music video, or probably just a short form video on this, a compilation, and I won't put it on YouTube. I'll probably put it, of course, on the website or scariestmovieever.tv. I'll put it in some other places, BitChute as well. But just, it's amazing, the people on YouTube that are getting awards, and you can very clearly see the agenda at place here in so many ways. The hosts of the show are these two cross-dressing people here.
Hey, this has got to be a mistake. Who would throw away the internet? It's arguably the only good part of 2020. Dare I say it was probably the best thing about the whole year. And dare I say, I wish we had an opportunity to honor all the content creators who made 2020 bearable. Great idea, but how do we do that?
The pyramids right between them, the red and the blue, which together makes purple. Let's see here. The Saturnalia cult. Here's more.
Next up, Kenya. Okay, this is nice. I'm really hoping it's money.
Dream, Eddie, Mark Rober, Kyle Exum.
And today's helpers. Welcome back. Surprise.
Oh my lord, I don't even know what to say.
We have an award for you. It's very, very cool. Oh, we have a crowd for you. Oh my gosh, how cute.
It's just that the point is that so much of it to me seems like a lot of these people are just, it's not to be mean, not to, be bullying or anything, but some of these people are truly talentless. The pyramids, of course, truly talentless. And they're getting all this praise. Meanwhile, like, so I'll put it together in a video, but meanwhile, you could actually find a lot of people on YouTube. You just want to look at like natural talent that are amazing out there, naturally amazing singers and performers, and play instruments. And, I find them all the time on here. And it's just somebody in their home or with a group in the garage or whatever, just coming together and making beautiful, amazing music. And it never really seems to get, I feel, the reach it should get. A lot of these things get a lot of views, but there's some truly authentic, great artists out there, but you can very much see the agenda with YT just by seeing a little bit of the Streamy Awards. And it just feels, I don't know, I'll get into it more later. This is from Disclosed Screen, the Grim Reaper. He's got a couple of cool videos here. Let's check these out.
It's got a vapor trail thing on it. There's a plane, surely. No. Where's his fucking wings? Huh?
You getting on the camera, Phil?
Yeah.
There he is.
You ever heard of the Valixi? Look up the, is it Valixi? Valixi UFO. I believe that's what they're called, but there's, throughout history, there's recordings, and we've seen them all the time on here on the show. I mean, it's current too, but these cylindrical type UFOs, they call them, or cigar shaped. Valixi, I believe, is. You can look that up and find out more about those. I don't know if this is one of them, but
It's got no fucking wings, whatever the fuck it is. It's up high. Huh? He's up high.
Yeah, it's not a plane. There's that wings on it. It's on a rocket.
See, it could be.
Hey, it's just like
well, there he goes beyond the clouds.
All right, let's see what else we got on here.
Monolith there.
Vehicle behind the windscreen, so most people are just shrugging it off as a reflect these monoliths now. I'm guessing I'm not the only one. Who else is on the same page as me?
So here's one we'll have to watch out for is, there's going to be a lot of the fakes stuff with the monoliths. But then what about the real stuff? I'm working on something I mentioned earlier about monoliths. It might not be what you think, but talking a little bit about them. And I collected from over the last few weeks some of these UFO videos I find that look like light type monoliths up in the sky, and they're recorded from people's phones. It's something they capture. It's not these just pictures. It's really hard to trust stuff like that, because I've been seeing a lot of this stuff coming out lately, these just pictures of, oh, look, there's a monolith, and it's just so easy to fake. It's hard to tell, of course, with some of these things. All right, let's see what else we got. I think that was it. All right, cool. It's another one from Disclosed Screen Grim Reaper, and let's check this out. That's what it's the channel if you want to check it out. He got his channel taken down a little while back, so he's trying to rebuild. So if you like these kind of weird videos, and he puts it all out there. You know, some of the stuff to me is obviously fake, and he won't say it's real. He'll say he leaves it up to you. But my heart goes out to a lot of these channels like this that cover the stranger stuff. You know, sometimes we get it wrong. I'm one of them too. Sometimes you can get the stranger stuff wrong, and because I covered it for years and still do. And sometimes we get it right. Sometimes you're the only source of, other than the person that filmed it, of getting something out there, you know. So it's interesting. Again, got to use your own discernment and all this kind of stuff. But, you know, I'm glad these channels are still out there. They exist, and they're trying. Like these guys, Hidden Underbelly 2.0 and Mavi777. Let's watch some of this. Terry's Theories is another one. Donnie of Daytona. Don't get me started. Don't get me mad if I forgot your name or forgot your channel name, but there's a lot of them, man. There's a lot of them. So anyway, moving on.
That is, we are flying. There's flying object, bright lights approaching us. Lights are becoming brighter and brighter. Interesting. We are probably flying around 30,000 feet. I don't know what that could be. Well, I don't know what that is.
All right, we got it. Interesting, though, huh? Oh. Did we cover this guy earlier? I think we did, didn't we? But this is from Fartsy. I think we covered him earlier. Something else. Maybe it's the same, just a different source. But it says, we as a nation need to continue to wear the mask to keep the physical distance to avoid crowds. We're not through with this just because we're starting a vaccine program. And that's from Dr. Fartsy. There you go. The new god of everything in this world, it seems, huh? All right, what is this? I can't remember what we're watching here. Oh, there it is. Dr. Yaffe. She's talking to this guy, Dr. Williams, and I don't know who these people exactly are. Maybe you guys do. Apparently they have something to do with there's some form of leadership. They got Canadian flags back there. So maybe some of you guys know who they are, but they're basically admitting that they just do as they're told or what's on the script. Here we go.
I don't know why I bring all these papers. I never look at them. The numbers I do, I go, oh. I just say whatever they write down for me.
There you go. It's all a script, right? Jodie Turner-Smith plays Anne Boleyn in new Channel 5 drama that seeks to challenge conventions by casting black actress as Henry VIII's executed wife. Oops. I look up, it's 111. It was 111 ads blocked. Okay, cool. Channel 5 drama that seeks to challenge conventions by casting black actress as Henry VIII's executed wife and shine a feminist light on her story. I don't like staying on this site for long because the ads get really crazy on here. But yeah, there we go. But just, you know, more of this. I always feel it's just kind of virtue signaling. It's these cheap surface ways to try to fix more serious type issues. I don't know. Moving on. Hotels, oops, it's on Zero Hedge. Hotels consider requiring all guests to have the vaccine. We talked about that earlier. Oops. We got away with it all night. Didn't do it at all. This is from Jeff C., my friend Jeff Censored's channel. Hands, face, space. It's an ad. I thought it was pretty crazy. He added the 33, of course, because he knows. It's one of their codes. I'm going to be, if Jeff's in the audience, hey, Jeff, because I need to hit you up on Skype. I would like to see if you're available this week for a show. If not, I'll hit you up on Skype either way if you're not here. Maybe I'm just talking to myself. It's been a while. It'd be good to talk to Jeff or have a show with Jeff again. It's been a while since we did a show. All right, let's go ahead and check this out.
The last year has been really tough for all of us, and we've all been doing our bit. But COVID-19 remains highly contagious, and even people without symptoms are spreading it. So we need to keep washing our hands.
Poisonous, dangerous humans. Look at that. Look how they're like green, wicked mist.
And we need to keep making space for each other. And now we're indoors more. We should open windows when we can to let fresh air in and help blow COVID-19.
What was that on the screen behind him? Oh, it's people hugging. For a second, I thought it was a lamb. I don't know why. I looked over at that. I don't know. I guess for a second, I thought I saw a lamb. I thought that'd be nuts if they actually had a lamb on the TV screen behind this guy.
COVID-19 particles away.
Oh, you got to hear that part.
And now we're indoors more. We should open windows when we can to let fresh air in and help blow COVID-19 particles away. Let's keep doing all we can to protect each other and help stop the spread. Remember, hands, face, space, and let fresh air in.
Wow. Yeah, there's a new commercial they're running out here where I live. It's called Stay Home, Wear Mask is the slogan. You know, wear your mask, stay home. Awesome. Right? Yeah. Good times. And that actually concluded the show. That was my last story to show you. I'm over here in the chat now with you guys, just saying hi. A big thank you. Thank you all so very much for being here tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you took something away from it. Like I said, I don't do a deep dive on every story, you know, or every bit of footage. Go look it up for yourself if you're interested. Do a little investigation. Let us know what you find on anything of interest you saw tonight. That'd be amazing. Big shout out to the moderators, guys. Thank you so much, Tamara, gang, so much. I appreciate y'all, and thank you for being here. Huge shout out to my Patreon and PayPal supporters. This channel was demonetized several months back. Patreon people are amazing. PayPal, thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. I can't thank you enough. And also, real quick on messages and notes and emails. Sorry I don't get to everything. It's hard to kind of take it all in sometimes. I go through periods of time I can get to everything. Then sometimes I just get away from it all just because I'm busy with projects and things I'm working on. But so if I haven't responded back to you on any social media, my apologies. I just kind of get wrapped up in things I'm doing and can be a bit obsessive. Anyway, if you're interested in any links below, check them out. If you'd like to support my work, my videos, everything else I do, check out my Patreon, PayPal links. If you didn't know, I dropped a new video this morning. I left a link below as well under new video. You can check it out. Please do. Other links below, there's emergency food supplies. If you guys feel like you want to have a little food prep set up just in case, there's a great special down there. You can get 2 weeks for under 100 and a month for under 200. So check that out. What else down there? Oh, the scariest movie ever.tv. It's great for Fire Stick, Roku, Amazon, everything else. But I've been uploading there as well. I've got a lot of music videos there, and all my new uploads are there as well. And, oh, Discord. Got a Discord community chat. Runs 24/7. I don't get over there a lot, to be honest with you, but I'm going to work on that. But it's mainly for you guys. And I appreciate you going there, and a lot of people like it. It's a chance for you guys to keep talking, chatting. Link below for that as well. And I think that covers about everything. Got my BitChute link down there too. Okay, I'm rambling. Let me end with a real quick prayer. I always like to do that with these shows, guys. So just quickly, I'll say, Heavenly Father, thanks once again for the show. Thanks for the platform. And thanks for these great people out here. Please be with us all. Obviously, these are crazy times, but we're really leaning on you. And please just keep guiding us and keeping us at peace. And for all those people hurting in the world, Lord, I know you're right there with them. Please help them all out, because you already know more than I do that there's a lot of pain out there, a lot of sadness, a lot of fear. So please be with them all, Lord, and lift them up. And thank you, Lord. I love you. And in Jesus' name I pray. All right, guys, that's it. That's it for the show. Hey, thanks so much for being here, man. I appreciate you. A lot going on. I think we covered quite a bit. So keep your eyes on the channel over the next few days or so. I have another show coming up. If not, I'm working on a couple videos. Maybe some I'll put up off YouTube, but I'll let you know in the community section on my YouTube channel if you're interested in finding out. All right. Until next time, you guys take care and have a great night.